Alrighty then, g'day and
Hello, hello.
hello. How are you all? Welcome in. My name is Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer, and welcome to Heroforge Legendary, the series where we make Heroforge minis. This season we have Heroforge Legendary with special guests, and the first of our most specialists of guests is none other than the wonderful and amazingly talented friend of mine, Quincy from Quincy's Tavern. Woo!
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it, Michael. Thank you so much. I'm glad I'm here.
No, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. We played a couple of games together now. So honestly, like this was a no-brainer for me. I was like, dude, we need to sit down. We need to chat. We need to do this because nothing is more fun than being able to create characters, world build, and hang out with you, wonderful and amazing people at home. So thanks for joining us.
I'm looking forward to this. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Glad
All
to be
right.
here.
So let's go over what's happening today, guys. Today, as I've mentioned, we are going to be building a Heroforge mini. Now, not to disappoint, but we're not going to be building Quincy because, ta-da!
It's already done. It's already there.
Been there, been done. By the way,
I already have my own mini of Quincy too, so like it's time for something new.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to be working on something new with Quincy, but more importantly, we're also going to be just having a nice, cool, quiet hangout and chill with you guys. So I want to encourage you guys to ask either myself or Quincy any questions that you might have about D&D, world building, role playing. Obviously, I encourage you to ask about Quincy's channel and Quincy's current ongoing project. If Quincy's willing to share anything, I mean. This could turn into a shock jock moment of, ha, reveal your secrets.
I don't know. See if we get into that point.
Yeah, that's true. We got to get him drunk first. So to set the mood, let's get some tavern music going here.
Ooh, let's do it.
All right, brilliant. There we go.
Oh, it's very happy.
Yeah, it's
very happy.
I'm happy. Let's do it. Okay, so for those of you who have been living under a rock, Quincy's Tavern is a wonderful and wholesome place on the internet, both on Twitch and on Instagram, where you can find this lovely human being playing the role of a tavern keeper called Quincy. Now, Quincy runs his tavern for adventurers, whether they be weary and long-traveled or just setting out on a new adventure, and providing them not only a means of support, great advice for their adventures, but also a series of incredibly mouth-watering and delicious recipes that you at home can actually also build as well. So if you haven't checked them out, if you haven't haven't had a look, we are going to put links in the chat for you guys to go and explore as well. So yeah, there you go. That is who Quincy is. If you don't know who I am, that's probably right. So anyway,
That's the Dead Aussie Gamer. You're the Dead Aussie. This is the Dead Aussie place. This is his face. Is that how you do it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
Yeah, look, I'm the guy on the internet that you sit there and go, man, I know that guy, and you have to IMDb him, right? Like that's who I am in the RPG space. Okay, so let's start with some questions. If you guys have questions in chat, because I'm expecting for there to be quite a few people, please start your question with the word question, and then we'll read from there. So yeah, ask anything, ask away. Now, today let's start with some of the basics, right? You are a avid fan of role-playing games, and I've got to ask one of the primary questions. How do you, Quincy, start building a character?
Oh, when it comes to building a character, I guess it depends on what the character's purpose is. Like, what is it supposed to do? So I guess the character we're going to be building today is Salon Piper, who is a new character that I'm excited to play on in your campaign coming up for Food Fight. And Salon Piper is a fairy character, like a small little kind of fairy. And when you said to kind of like come up with a character that could be like in a restaurant or something, obviously I could think of Quincy, but I was like, I want to try something new. I want to try something different, something I haven't done before. So I was like, let's make a character that is still like what I enjoy playing, because I like playing kind of sneaky and perceptive roles, and the ones that can kind of do a little bit of scouting and things. And so I was like, let's kind of create a character from that aspect, from that point. So I was looking at all the races that are available in D&D Beyond and such. And I'm like, what about a fairy? So I was looking at fairies because I've never seen anyone play one yet.
And the fairy recently came out in the Wild Beyond the Witchlight book for any of you who are looking for the race itself. Now, I didn't mention this before, but the game that we're talking about, Food Fight, is a game that I've put together with with a group of my friends who I feel are have far not enough time in order to enjoy some role playing. So we're not going to be doing that game live. We're going to be doing it recorded. It is going to be a no pressure, easygoing game that's going to be available to Patreons on all of our channels. The cast is going to include, of course, Quincy, your narrator, Robert Hartley GM, the Dreaded GM, as well as, whenever they are available, both Satine Phoenix and Jameson Stone. Now, for this game, it is all food-based. It is in a world where the group is hungering to go on an adventure and are on a quest to do so. The big proviso, which we have, is that it is a house game. So I have included things like homebrew stuff. I've included things like, if you guys have something that your imagination craves, you can go for it. So I guess when we look at making a fairy, one of the first things I've got to ask is, like, what kind of fairy? But before we answer that question, I've just my chat's finally caught up. We have a question from Tardy Selectra. Question: what is your main bit of advice for someone wanting to get into D&D? This is for both Dead Aussie and Quincy to answer.
All right, well, you have much more experience than I do. I'm actually very new to D&D, honestly. I started quite at the beginning of the pandemic, so maybe 2020 is when I started to really learn how to play, and got into the hobby that way. But you're much more experienced as not only as a dungeon master, but also as a longtime player. How would you advise? And then I can give my 2 cents.
Okay. So for those of you who don't know, my day job, apart from streaming, is actually as a government GM. So I actually work for the Australian government, teaching kids how to enjoy and how to get into tabletop role-playing games. So that's literally my job.
It's awesome. So cool.
So I've been doing it for going on 7 years now. So it's been really supportive, and it's been incredible as an experience. I would say this: if you're playing with younger people, always bring a friend, right? Do not try to get into D&D on your own. Don't just join a group by yourself, right? If you can find a person that's willing to support you and lift you up and help build that foundation, you're always going to have a far better time than if you sort of tried to just look around. That being said, look around. Go find places. There are lots of people who run public games, and every year there's free RPG Day, where it literally is there designed to showcase stuff. Or if you are at a place where they hold regular gaming conventions also have tons of great welcoming and encouraging first-time game places to check out. Now, this is a special shout-out to my female players. If you are or identify as a female and want to enter the space, I will tell you this. There are lots of male-dominated spaces in the public, and it is important to understand your comfort zones and to find someone who understands them as well. It won't necessarily be everyone that you find in public, but do not give up. There are definitely people out there who are very, very talented, very, very skilled, and who are very understanding of boundaries and things such as that. So yes, don't feel like you kind of have to jump into this because if I don't, I'm going to miss out, or don't feel like you have to adhere to the traditional norms that the others are observing around you just because you're new. You can decide that all that stuff for yourself as well. And again, bring a friend, take someone with you that's willing to have fun. Because I've had a few instances where me and my partner have gone to an event and she's kind of felt a little bit awkward, but I've done my best to kind of help alleviate that. And it worked for the best, like making people feel comfortable should be what it's all about, first and foremost, rather than these are the rules,
Absolutely. That's it, because it's a game. It's supposed to be enjoyable. It's supposed to be fun, and it's supposed to be recreational. So if you're not enjoying it and you're not having fun with it, please don't feel pressured to keep on doing it just for the sake of, I guess, keeping face. But I guess for getting into it and starting from the very beginning, if you're ever curious, D&D Beyond for resources, something you can get into. D&D Beyond is a wonderful place to start, to where I did to kind of learn all the basic rules and the classes and stuff. YouTube was also my first stop into D&D. I was like, okay, so how do I play this? So I watched all those little quick videos of what was it? It was like how to play an artificer D&D. It was like the quick little animated skit thing, and it was absolutely super inaccurate, but also accurate at the same time. But like tutorials on how to do that, and like what is your play style? What do you like to do? Like literally, someone told me when creating a character was like you can literally create anything. And so if you have a character in mind that it was a book or a story, because I feel like most people who get into D&D or curious are also creative in many other facets, whether it's writing or drawing or they just love they want to have a character in some way, or be like, I want to play this type of thing because I saw it from the show. Like you have a desire to create something or be something. So I would say YouTube. YouTube is a great resource to start off with. Just literally be like, what is this D&D, or like this class or race in D&D, and I guarantee you'll find something on that.
Absolutely, 100%. Like nothing is better than being inspired by the people who are just so passionate about this hobby. Yeah, check them out. And there are lots of really great places to check out. I mean, Critical Role, of course.
That's what got me into it.
Yeah,
that's what got me into it.
Cannot deny Critical Role. But yeah, there are lots of content creators out there nowadays, who do exactly the same thing. Like almost like me. I do that. So
yeah, and like I didn't understand it quite what it was when I first started playing. When I realized that it was actually more improv than anything, I was like, oh, impressive, because I was doing theater in college, and I was like, improv was one of the games that we would always play that was not only entertaining, but it was fun and challenging. And when I learned that Dungeons and Dragons was essentially not quite role play, yes, role play, but improv, and these actors and characters were doing it on the fly, like it wasn't scripted, and they were just coming up with the reactions and what they wanted to do, and this crazy situations that they were getting into wasn't necessarily scripted. It was just like, I think my character would do this, and everyone had to roll with it. And I'm like, I love this. That's what made it so engaging for me, was that like it was improv on top of character building, storytelling, but you were limited by the roll of the dice. And that was what was super intriguing for me. So yeah, if you're interested, just literally Google how to start playing D&D, search, do that.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. And if I can also give another shout out, if you are getting into GMing, which is a different whole thing to becoming a player, go check out How to Be a Great GM. It is a channel run by one of my best friends, Guy from How to Be a Great GM. Wonderful bits of advice regarding how to actually get into the GMing space, world building, telling stories, and the like. Okay. So, let's get back to the fairy real quick. So, in my world, again, like I said, we're going to be playing very homebrewy, so I'm willing to kind of play and work around not only what you define as a fairy, but like what types of fairy you would like to be. Because, fairies fairy or the fae folk are just so far and wide when it comes to versatility. Like, technically, red caps, which are these kind of little, like, garden gnomes, like, the people with beards and the red hats and the large size. These guys are also technically fairies as well. Right. The cobbler elves, exactly, another type of fairy. The brownies, like the, what do you call them? The grigs, like half grasshoppers, half people. All these things count as fairies. So, with your character of Salin, what do you imagine the type of fairy Salin to be?
I imagine him to be probably your typical definition of a fairy. So if you think Tinkerbell, kind of like that Tinkerer fairy type of vibe, very similar to that almost. I imagine him to have kind of a short blue hair, almost looking like a water fairy, in a way, with like that, or like a moon elf with the light blue skin, dragonfly wings, and and kind of like a leather patchwork type of clothing. It's kind of what I picture him as.
Okay. So let's start with the hairstyle. Like, what kind of styled short hair do you imagine? Like, does he have like kind of wildish hair? Does he have like sort of more of a comb over, neatly well kept?
Definitely not neat. He wouldn't be neat. He's mischievous. He's kind of sneaky. So probably a hairstyle that would help mimic the slightly crazed but also chaotic vibe of him, but he's still wanting to keep himself or present himself that he is a smooth criminal type of thing. I imagine he is very, very mischievous. Probably first and foremost, if you kind of imagine a character such as that, is that he is very causing trouble almost for the sake of trouble. So maybe more of a wild look. So longer, probably kind of coming down maybe closer to the neck type of thing. I don't know. I just like characters with longer hair.
I'd like short hair, but not really. I want like kind of longish, short, bluish,
short,
yellow.
Bluish. If it could change color, that'd be great. No. Can you do that in Heroforge? Right there.
That one? Yeah,
yes.
I dig that one. That one kind of looks cool.
There you go.
Okay.
That.
All right. So as we're again continuing to tinker with a few things, we have another question from our wonderful audience here. Oh wait, I need to come here. You. Quincy's Tavern. There we go. Boom. All right. So we have a question from LJILLY. I want to say Lily. I'm just gonna call you Lily. Lily. Question. What is the first step for someone who knows absolutely nothing but has a genuine interest? Honestly, very similar to the question of how to get into it. I would say if you have a genuine interest and kind of want to know a little bit more, as Quincy suggested, go check out a few live plays. There is a whole D&D category in Twitch and most times of the day, you'll be able to find people who are either building characters, building worlds, running live play games. And if you can watch it and be entertained, you can definitely enjoy a table. Easy. Any thoughts on that for yourself, Quincy?
Essentially, yeah. If you want to get started, literally you have to do research. I feel like you shouldn't necessarily always rely on people to guide you through it by the hands. I know there are people who will be out there who are willing to do it, but to show a genuine interest I would take that as someone who knows what they want. So like, say you came to me and be like, oh, I want to learn D&D. I was like, okay, tell me a character you want to build. Oh, I don't know. Well, do you know what's available? Oh, I don't know. Have you gone on D&D Beyond when I've told you about D&D Beyond? Oh, I don't know. So do those things that you know what to do first, and then go to the next step and be like, okay, so what character do you want to play? What do you want to, even if it's just yourself, how do you make yourself in D&D Beyond? Or if it's something like, I want to play a firebender, like, in D&D, how do I do that? I'm sure you'll be able to find it out. Someone who can have fire spells, like maybe a wizard or a sorcerer or a genasi. And if those words don't mean anything to you, D&D Beyond will tell you exactly what they are. So highly recommend that.
Yeah, and you know what? The other side of that is that you need to understand you do not need to know everything about role-playing in order to get into it. You don't need to know absolutely everything. In fact, I would have to say that, and I'm gonna take a big leap here, and I'm gonna say that I don't know anyone in the world who has played more games than I have. I play anywhere between 10 to 15 games a week, and I've done so for 7 years straight.
That's crazy.
If you played a game of D&D twice a week, every week since 1970, I've still played more games than you. So I've done the maths. Rob's done the maths. It's sad.
And you don't have to know everything about D&D to start off with too. Like, you don't have to. Like, you really don't.
Absolutely.
Ouch.
But the important thing to remember is, even with that many games under my belt, I guarantee you the last thing on my mind is trying to remember and keep everything straight, because you can't. It's just impossible. It's more important that you know what you're capable of and learn it each time you play, because you're gonna
100%.
you're gonna have far less times where you're sitting there going, oh, this is how this works. When was the last time you read the rules on that? Oh, 3 years ago when I played my first barbarian. Well, don't you think you should have a read of it now? Nah, I've done it before. Right, so
yeah.
Treat each time like it's you playing new, and you're gonna have a great time. Absolutely great time.
Yeah.
All right, I've got like kind of a little kind of like roughish kind of look here with the
I like that.
with the jacket.
That's kind of cool.
I mean, we've got a few more kind of tattered-y kind of clothes or kind of worn kind of clothes. Like we have you got kind of the very fancy rogue leathers.
Ooh.
As well. These are kind of nice and sexy. I like these ones.
That's very fancy. Nice.
Now the thing is, again, we're looking at just opening our minds to things. So we've got like leather jackets, which I'd also be kind of like. Yeah,
that is kind of neat. It's kind of cool. Now for accessories with Heroforge, can you put like packs on them and like satchels and things?
Oh yeah, 100%. So let's have a look at some of these packs and satchels. So if we go into the gears, we've actually got not only things that we can put in our hands, like let's give him a knife.
Nice.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
But we can also look at some side accessories as well. So if we want that knife to have a scabbard on one side, there you go. We've got
nice.
the scabbard. If we want to have like say a little pouch filled with tiny potion bottles, that could be like a mixture of different spices or the like, we can put that on that side.
That's cool.
And we've got like a little pouch there. But then there's also a different variety of pouches. You know, you got the utility pouches, different straps.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, thieves' tools if you want thieves' tools as well.
Very.
Yeah, and it doesn't just limit itself to like just tiny accessories as well. Like if you let's say that we didn't like the short bow, or sorry, the short dagger. We wanted a shotgun. There you go. You can put the shotgun. Listen here.
Nice. I like. Salen's got a musket strapped to the side.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's like you wouldn't deprive an old man of his walking stick, would you? That's a shotgun.
Oh, I did want to ask, for your world, what size is Salen? Is he? Because technically they're small, but I don't know what small necessarily is defined as. Isn't a halfling kind of defined as small?
Correct. So a halfling is a traditional small race, and they stand roughly about 3 foot tall. How tall that actually is a complete illusion to me because I'm Australian and we do not talk in feet. 3 of them. 3 of these. Like as far as feet go, I'm like a third of a halfling, which is like even more complicated. So how tall is he? Well, let's see. He's about the size of a halfling. Maybe a third of a halfling shorter, right? But maybe a third of a halfling taller, depending on what type of fairy they happen to be. How tall is a human? Oh, about 5 halfling. About 5 halfling thirds. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, there you go. Wonderful. Okay, I'm glad that was cleared up.
Yeah.
So, gosh. So a fairy in your world is about a third of the size of a halfling. Yeah. So it's pretty small. I like that. Okay, that helps me get into some shenanigans and kind of see how big he is. I like the idea of him potions on one side, and I would like a satchel kind of on the other side, maybe like some kind of bag or some kind of hip thing that had like call it cover over it, whatever. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. So kind of like something kind of like like that.
Yeah, something you can like kind of unzip or unflap and kind of just dig his hand in there and pull out his spices. Just because I picture Salen as like this little, because Salen Piper is actually salt and pepper in I believe it's Spanish and Latin. So I kind of like combined those. So his name is Salen Piper, and he is a spice fairy. He loves his spices. He likes to add and adjust and fix things, and even sabotage other people's meals with it if he deems it necessary. Like
that's a thing. That's a thing, isn't it, Quincy?
Yeah. Maybe it might be inspired from like an old one shot I did or something. I don't know.
My God, the amount
it seems appropriate.
That character got, I was like, he just wanted to cook off, and then it ended up, and then I ended up in a freaking like song duel with Carson.
Oh my, it's so good. It's so good. As D&D goes, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's true. As far as D&D goes, that's exactly it. It's par for the course, and is definitely what we find. All right, so we've got some satchels there. I've added in some leather pants, maybe a little badass jacket. We'll come
I
back
like
to
that
it.
jacket actually because I think it fits him well. I like that. I
Yeah,
think it's cool.
yeah, it's kind of got the little torn patches and stuff like that. Yeah, we can play
Yeah.
around with the leggings and stuff like that. I just kind of wanted to give you some pants so we can see where the belts fit. We've got like the
Yeah.
little strapped thing there. We got some little potion things here. Just keeping in mind, don't forget, spices and mixes don't necessarily need to come in powder form. For example, I love the idea that maybe you've made some infused oils as well. That could be kind
Oh,
of cool,
true.
you know.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, for sure.
And that could very much be what we're looking at for that side there, and I think that
Hmm.
kind of works.
Seasonings and additives, oils in general, kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Aromatics as well.
Yes. Yes. Hmm.
Mm,
So like fresh herbs, kind of that are in their complete form, because with mint you have to smack it to activate it, all the
Yep.
oils to come out of it and stuff.
Yep. Exactly.
100%.
And I think that like being Salen's like main thing, that'd be fantastic.
Because he's small, and that's something that he can put in his hand and kind of like really measure and kind of just be very meticulous of.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I'm gonna ask the next question here. And
Mhm.
this is a question that I've had for quite some time. Now, a lot of people, obviously, if you follow Quincy's channel, know food is a big part of Quincy's Tavern. Good food, good company, and the like. I find that food, when people love food, there is that moment, there is that thing, there's maybe even a meal, or a person who's prepared that meal that sparks that love and joy of food. I've got a personal question. What was that moment for you? What was that moment that sparked your clear passion and love of food?
Hmm. Oh, I don't know. I love food. I've been eating all my life. I think when people ask me like what's my favorite thing to cook, it always goes back to wolf stew. And wolf stew was actually an actual meal growing up for me. It was a meal my mom would make when it was actually even considered a special event meal, because the mashed potatoes were handmade, and it took her a lot longer to make than normal than a regular pasta dish. So wolf stew was something that she grew up with, that she's doctored, and we called it wolf stew because we would wolf it down. But it was literally, her version was like a thick ground beef gravy over mashed potatoes with potato rolls on the side, kind of thing. Something very simple, straightforward, no fuss, just that. And we would devour all of it. And it was like like one of the meals that like we were waiting for. Like, when's dinner ready? When's dinner ready? Like, is this what we're having? And it would either be for a holiday or for a birthday that it would normally be asked for, as like, can we have wolf stew for dinner? When it was like one of those off the cuff random Tuesday evenings when mom would make wolf stew, it was like for some reason that just made the day even better. Like, it was just phenomenal. So I took that recipe, made it my own as kind of like a way to keep on the tradition of taking it and adding to it, but keeping the name wolf stew, and I made it into a roast beef. So I've always wanted, like, I love the food so much, I wanted to replicate it. I wanted to make it over and over again. So that kind of probably sparked in me very early on. I don't even know, like, the age wise. It's probably before 10, maybe like 6 or 7 or something. To like, if I liked it, I wanted to learn how to make it or replicate it or make it my own. So, yeah.
Amazing. I've got to say, my love of food came from a celebrity. I, when I was a lot younger, watched Heston Blumenthal's Fantastical Feast as a series.
Oh yeah, told me about him.
Oh man, I swear, like I was hooked. Like, like it changed the way I thought about food, because for the longest time I always viewed food as just kind of sustenance. This is just things to put in your body so that you don't die. And
right.
it wasn't anything special. But then as I kind of got introduced to Heston and the stuff that he was doing, it was, no, food can be fun. And like, because you're taught as a
Right.
kid, playing with your food, like, don't play with your food, yada, yada,
Oh,
yada.
true. Yeah.
But but the fact that it was like, actually, this is food you play with. This is food that is not just about putting it in your mouth, but this whole experience. And I think since then I was like very much about, like, not just what you put in your gut, but like being able to vividly describe an experience you're having from eating.
Hmm.
And not like that guy who made clay versions of his mouth and then filled it with food, so you'd have to make out with him. Have you heard about
Yeah,
that?
I maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Oh
I
my
don't
God.
know.
It was a Michelin star restaurant, and apparently there was
Okay.
27 courses.
Oh, I did hear about that. Oh my gosh, yes, that was.
Oh, and she shared the photos of the food for the Michelin star. I was like, it's like there are two slices of reconstituted orange next to an actual orange, and
Yep.
yeah, it was just like what. Yeah, and
Oh,
yeah, oh, that was a whole thing. If you want to, do look it up. And like I said, one of the desserts was literally the dessert served in a cast mold of the chef's mouth. So you have to make out with him in order to eat your
it was
last
like a
meal.
bowl. Like you had to kind of drink it out.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't.
Wow.
It was supposed to be super like artistic and artisanal and gourmet, but
Yeah.
like, ugh,
Yeah, and
no,
it
no,
was
no, 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 no.
and the brilliant bit was that the diners turned around and sorry, no, he responded to the diners and said it's because you didn't understand the meal. You know, it's because yes, you know,
Yeah, you're right. I didn't. I don't get it at all.
Yeah, I was trying to enjoy my food. I mean, how dare I? So yeah, that was a whole thing. It was yeah. Okay, so let's hit back this ferry now. I've gone with a black jacket just because I like black jackets. But what do you think about the hair? Let's start with that.
The hair looks good. I like the line of teal you got there, like that lighter blue.
So one thing and great bit of advice for Heroforge is you do have the normal hair, but if you add the decals in, I feel like something special happens. You don't even need to have like the highlights, right? Like even just like something that like
Ooh, that's cool.
yeah, something that goes and transitions from like a light blue to the darker blue, the more like kind of poppy blue. It's a subtle change, but looks amazing on the mini itself.
That is neat.
So I mean, we can obviously no, God, no new tab, thank you. So if you want, we could go with that one, or we could go with something like that. Maybe mess around with the colors. What do you think?
I like the first version. I think that's fine.
First version? Okay, so we'll keep that one.
Yeah.
Eyebrows. Happy with the eyebrows?
That's fine. Let's go with that.
Okay, cool. So when we look at the reason why following like the hairlines and stuff like that is first and foremost important, because I think when it comes to playing characters, the coloration of the skin works best if you know what color your hair and eyes are. If you've got if you've got like kind of brownish hair and you go with brownish skin, and it makes you look like you've got like just this really big bulbous neck.
You look Simpsons.
Looks
where does your hair start and your head begin, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I think with the blue, there's a lot that can be played around here. So what kind of tone of color skin do you see or envision this character having?
Like a very pale gray blue, if that's something.
All right. So in Heroforge, we don't have so much this color, so I'm going to create a custom color for you.
Oh boy.
So by doing that, we go into mix and we hit the plus button, and then we get given our materials. Now, materials super important, guys. If you are making your Heroforge mini and you want a particular color and you want to use it for a particular thing, use the material, because it adds these little accents and stuff. Like for example, let me just show you what happens here. Let's go with glass, right? Like glass has a very, very nice finish. Let's get with that lovely pinky flesh color. Let's go with something like that. So this is a normal pink flesh. So as you can see there, that is and I'm doing this for a reason. You'll see why in a second. So this is that pink flesh, as you can see, but with that glossy vibe to it. Now that looks cool in and of itself, right? Like absolutely kind of looks cool, but you can kind of see
that sheen there, yeah.
Yeah, it's glass. But if I then go into my materials and change that to a human skin texture, now it's following the contours of his cheekbones. It's now following that. If I change that to metal, again, it's added that glimmer to it.
Wow. That's cool.
So the actual material, even bone, like, I mean, you can't see it too much. Like, the bone kind of does look it, but you see
a little more egg shelly kind of a bit.
Yeah,
almost flatter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hair. Yeah, okay, hair was a no-go. This is just the matte paint. So the matte paints are
Mm-hmm.
also a really good way to start if you want to kind of find the right color. So this is what I normally do: is I normally just get the matte paint, find the color, and then change the material. That's another
Mm.
technique you can use. So you're looking for a blue gray, are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of getting close to it.
Okay. Now,
Kind of almost goblin-like.
yeah. So we can go for a slightly shaler blue. So that's gone slightly more towards the blue spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we can do here is, if we want to, we can add some decals to the face. So
Ooh,
for
okay.
here, we can add, let's say, a little blush just around the cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then add in some of the Lunar Elf blush. And by doing that,
Ah,
it creates a little bit more definition.
sure. Yeah.
And then we
I'm
can...
about it.
And then we
Give
can,
some life to the lips and face.
yeah, exactly. Just a few things to just lift it. Ooh, I
Mm-hmm.
don't hate that. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Maybe, I mean, we can revisit it a little later. That's
I'm a
just
fan,
kind of
though. Yeah.
the silver, yeah. All right, and
Mm-hmm.
eye color. What eye color are you feeling?
Let's give him green eyes.
Green eyes, nice. All right. That kind of looks cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Do you like the shade of green? We can go a lighter green, a more like lime green.
What about darker green?
Darker green? All right. So now that
Slightly
we've added
darker.
the eyes, rather than creating a new one, because we have kind of roughly what we're after, if you go back into mixes, you can actually adjust the type of eye color. But not only the eye color, you can also change the sclera color as well.
Ooh, I like this. That's black sclera.
Black sclera? Yeah, we can go to black
Oh,
sclera.
that's pretty cool.
You can also change the pupil color as well as the iris size.
Mm-hmm.
You can also change the iris type. So you've got like a variety of different cool little things there. But
Let's do the normal eye and make them a little bigger.
Normal eye a little bit bigger. Yeah, we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
So how about
Yeah, there you
that?
go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll go with like slightly darker.
Yes. Ooh, there you go. That just brings them a little more. That give them a little more life right there. Just like toning that down a little bit more. I like that. I like that.
Now, pro tip. Always add a little bit of glow to your eyes because while it's still darker, it makes the characterizations look a lot more prominent in the model when it's printed. It's only purely just a printing tip, so yeah, if you're printing out your model, add that glow to your eyes. Otherwise, if you've got the deeper colors, it may sort of fade when you print them.
Cool.
All right. Next question from Daconator2099. Question: is necromancy a part of D&D? Yes. Quincy?
Yeah, you can do necromancy.
Excellent. Done. Easiest question.
Where would you find them? I guess like what class and race or like what would you go into for it? Because it's like there's not like a necromancy class necessarily. You have to build around it.
Okay. Well, while I'm thinking of that, what color do you imagine the wings to be, by the way?
Dragonfly. So I think I've kind of popped more green there, just to kind of pop the color of his eyes a bit more.
Okay. Well, cool. I'll play with that. But where you can find necromancy in most D&D worlds and the like, necromancy is traditionally considered to be a forbidden art. It is the equivalent of quote unquote the dark arts. And you often have a lot of worlds where the use or practice of necromancy is frowned upon. In my world, it is simply one of the known schools of magic and one of the arts that is practiced commonly and taught. The misuse of necromancy is where the problems lie. When people try to use necromancy for nefarious purposes, or if people are trying to disrupt the dead. Because necromancy is about the transference of life and death. So in my world, healing magic also technically falls into the category of necromancy as well. So if you want to heal someone from an injury using magical means as opposed to medical means, that falls into that category as well. At least that's where I have it. As far as mechanics go, if you want to play a necromancer, clerics are easily the best necromancers because they have access to the raised dead spell, a few bits and pieces here and there. And depending on the game system you're playing, I know that Pathfinder, for example, has just tons of great content if you want to play a necromancer.
Nice. I love this. I'm just like watching you click around and it's just coming to life. I'm just enthralled with this right now. It looks good. It looks really good. I like that a lot. I like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
like the tool tone of like the green into the kind of the yellowish green with the with the darker veins. Mm-hmm,
oh yeah.
mm-hmm,
No,
mm-hmm.
one of the important things as well is do not be afraid to play around with your greens, like or just any color. You don't need to keep it to one. But next pro tip here is if you're doing something like the dragonfly wings, do not be afraid to go into your mixer, go into your color, hit the cog, and add transparent plastic.
Ooh. Oh. That looks so good.
It does.
That looks awesome.
Although we don't necessarily need it for the ridge lines, so the ridgings can still be quite solid, but that shimmer is actually going to come out as a transparent plastic as well. So
I love that. That's so cool.
It does cost a tiny bit more for transparent plastics and wings, but I think the cost is kind of combined. So if you've got wings and you want them to be transparent, I don't think it costs you that much more. So it's like, yeah.
I mean, it just looks really good, though.
Yeah. Okay. I'm really loving how he's coming together. By the way, like there's a lot of cool things happening here.
100%.
All right. So, question for Quincy from McBluff. What are your favorite trinkets or props at the moment?
That's a good question.
While Quincy's thinking about that, I'd say this. If you haven't checked out the channel right now, go and check out Quincy's Tavern. I mean, maybe not right this second, but like, go check it out. The backgrounds and set that are used for Quincy's Tavern is filled with just tons of amazing props and trinkets and devices that you collected over years of just it's magical. It really is. Like Quincy's Tavern is a magical location. So yeah, of all the amazing things in your tavern, what's your favorite?
Oh, there's just so many different things. I love probably. I mean, what I use the most is that Damascus steel knife for all the cutting and all just the cooking videos and things. I love my wooden spoons. Just because I feel like the spoons and earthen utensils just really bring life into a project. The props that I really, really liked that I was very fond of getting to put into the tavern were the map from Treasure Planet, which was kind of just like a 3D printed object you can get on Etsy. I also really enjoyed the replica for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Newt's briefcase that kind of has that secret compartment inside of it where you kind of just flip it to the Muggle setting and it can open up, and that was a neat piece to kind of be able to get my hands on. I love really what I really enjoy is probably one of my favorite pieces in the tavern is the custom wax seal stamp. So it's a custom wax seal stamp with the Quincy Tavern logo on it that I was able to get designed. And I just love just using it. Every time I just use it and the wax is on the paper and I kind of peel it off and it just kind of sits there. It's just really, really nice. But yeah, lots of different things. I've gotten, there's the Ocarina from Legend of Zelda in there. There's rupees. I have garnered like a deck of cards, the Sabacc cards from Star Wars. They're in there somewhere. Someone sent me a Dragon Ball, which, like someone sent Quincy a Dragon Ball. Like, what's he going to do with it? Just kind of chilling there, part of a wish. Then the keys from Ready Player One are in there. And I just recently grabbed a holy hand grenade from Monty Python.
Nice.
So that actually can light up. And so, which is really neat. Found this on Etsy. So this will be probably showing up into a video here soon. But yeah, it's just so many different things. I mean, this is what happens when you have adult money and adult time and to spend on what you want. So yeah, lots of those kind of
yeah,
weird
we
thing.
don't talk about Michael's expenses. Yeah, this is the hard boundary on where Michael spends his money, especially while his partner is watching the stream.
Oh no.
No, that's amazing. You know, if I do have to say my favorite, I think it is the wax seal, because I remember you made these like delicious spell cookies with the chocolate stamps
Yeah.
on them, and I was like, that is so clever. Why do I feel so stupid? I've never done that before. It's like the simplest of things, but it looks amazing.
It was so good. I need to do that again. I need to try to figure out how to work with that again. But that was an idea I found on Pinterest because, you know, creative people like to share creative projects. And I found that endeavor on Pinterest. I'm like, I like it. I'm going to do something like that.
All right,
and
you ready to see something? I haven't actually shown this to anyone because actually McBluff, who asked the question, actually is the reason why I don't use this, and it's really funny, and I'm sure she's gonna feel awful, but don't feel awful, right? But for my birthday, a couple years back now, a friend of mine gave me this. It is
ooh, yeah,
a Dead Aussie Gamer wax seal stamp, which was based off my old logo. And then McBluff came along, I want to say like maybe 2 days before it was my birthday, with designs for my birthday of a new logo, which I absolutely loved, way better than I loved this one. And so I put this on the shelf, and I haven't used it since. And I was like, you know, it's really nice, and it's a great commemoration, and I love it to bits, and I love my best friend, and he knows I love him. He knows exactly how I feel about him. And it was just one of those things, and it's always sat on my desk as a humble reminder that, you know, like, people believe in you. Actually, you know what? A lot of my humble reminders are just on my desk, like, you know, like my wax seal, and of course Little Dag. I have Little Dag. A lot of people have seen Little Dag. It's like a little.
That's awesome. So why the red shirt? Like, I think like it's like a motif of yours. Like, you always wear a red shirt.
Oh,
or like very often red shirt.
Yeah. Okay. So the red shirt has a story, actually. So back in the day when I first got onto streaming, like, at all, it was on How to Be a Great GM. I actually did not like D&D 5e at all. Like, I boycotted it because I was a 3.5 boy and then became a Pathfinder person. And, you know, I was like, no, I spurn you and your new system. And Guy and I, we were chatting one day, and, you know, he found out that how I felt about it, and he invited me to play on on one of his private games, and we had a great time. You know, we knew we would, and it was wonderful, and I miss the players from that table even till today. But then once I got to the end of it, he invited me to play on his stream. And my dice rolled like absolute garbage, right? Like, I was this big, mighty, hulking, strong dude, and, you know, I was doing I was basically just this you know, meathead warlock, right? Which I thought was just hilarious and, you know, fun. But then my character, like, died, I want to say like 2 or 3 times in, like, the first season. And
oh no!
I was like, I don't know what it is, and I think the comment got made like that. Hey, Mike, you're the red shirt, and I'm like, I'm like, okay, and I'm like, that makes sense. And I decided that I was gonna embrace that, and I was gonna be like, yeah, you know what? I need to maybe stop fearing death for characters. Like, if a character dies in a story, it should be something memorable. It should be something magical. But it shouldn't be something that holds you back. And I wore the red shirt. I said, yep, cool. If I go into a stream, I'm going to go in as the red shirt. But gosh darn it, I'm going to be the
gonna
red
make
shirt.
it fabulous.
I'm going to be amazing, and I'm going to make you love me, and then I'm going to make you regret the day. I'll make you rue the day you killed my character off. So
that's awesome.
That was my slightly manic reason as to why I wear a red shirt. This doll actually came from a friend of mine when I went to Gen Con. One of my fans actually had their friends deliver this to me, and I was a muppet, right? Like, because I was like, this is amazing, this is so cool, and they asked if they could take a photo with me, and I was like, yeah, I take a photo, and I gave it back to them, and they said, no, it's for you. I was like, This is like it's actually the first thing a fan has ever given to me.
That's so sweet.
And I've kept it nearby all the time, just as like, again,
Love to see it.
Yeah, that constant reminder for me because
Aw.
yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, I saw the red shirt and I was like, yeah, he does wear a red shirt a lot. That's like, you're known for that now. That's cool. That's
yeah. Yeah, but you know what? I don't think I've actually. You know what? Truth be told, I don't think I've ever actually shared that story. I think that story's always been kind of there, but not really. We haven't really talked about it at all. But
I feel like there's a reason for that. Like, there's a reason why you would do certain things. Like, I guess as creatives, we have, little nods to kind of keep us going. It's like in baseball, there's superstitions in baseball. People kind of just do certain things. They swing a certain way, or you walk up to the plate, you tap one foot on the plate, or you tap the bat to your foot, and you have to do it every time because otherwise, if you don't, it's gonna ruin the game for you.
Oh yeah. There's always that one time that you don't do it, and then that's it. Cursed.
Yep.
Yes. Awesome. Okay. I've been just playing around with a few colors just to kind of like pop that blue and things like that. But
yeah, I like it.
Obviously, we can change it. Like, again, these are just kind of like, I was kind of like still trying to keep with the roguish vibe. And obviously we can play around with the pose and things like that. Any feelings on the direction or things that you would like?
I think it's good. Can we put the maybe like his pockets? Like, I'd like some splashes of red on his shirt, like if it's possible to get like some patches where it's like torn up. I don't know if that's like supposed to be his arm underneath showing through, or if it's supposed to be like kind of a patch covering it. Because if you could do that, like make it look like he's got some, like almost like he tried to sew, scrap fabric over holes in the coat, and it's like whatever he could find, like like a red napkin. He kind of just like tore it up and kind of just sewed it on his shirt.
Oh, so like patches. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, patchwork. Yeah.
Okay, we might need to look at a different shirt because they might have that. Let's have a look.
After Dad did everything, now we're just gonna make him do it all over again.
No, it's fine. It's exactly what Heroforge. This is what Legendary is all about. It is not about getting to the destination as quick as you can. It is about the journey we take as friends and people to reach that space. Let's see. Okay, that was the one. I feel like there is that one. Maybe there isn't
And there's not one specifically. That's okay. Like, I'm not super pressed on the issue. If it was possible, it'd be pretty neat. But I do like the roguish vibe you can have.
Okay, let's have a look at Okay, so in this as well, there is the overcoats. So if you pick a particular undercoat, there's also the overlay.
Ooh, that's cool. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, so you can go with something like
that. It's less refined than the other one. I like that.
Okay, and then maybe we can go to that one there, turn that into like a bit of a patchwork. And then let's get you more of a, there we go.
Nice, you can kind of see everything, yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe we can move the pants a little bit away from that very refined look, and maybe, actually, you know what? That's what I was thinking. I was thinking these, where are they? Yeah, see, that's got the patches on it.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
There you go. Because if I'm a third the size of a halfling, like no clothes gonna be in my size. Everything has to be made by me. So
I'm sick of shopping in the children's section. Okay.
What can you tell me about your world? If we can get into that, what can you tell me about the world that we're getting into? I'm asking as a player to the DM. Tell me what to look forward to when we get into the world that you're creating.
All right. The world that I'm creating is called Olestria. It's a world that I've been building on and off for about 8 years now. Its primary feature is the notion of true naming. Like, I love the idea that names hold power. Because, I feel like things are just scary, terrifying, and mysterious until we, as humans, as people, can identify it. So I wanted to take that essence, that feeling, and turn it into something. So in my world, when all of creation was made, things were given names, and by giving them names, they were given power. Everything from like the gods were given names. Like when light was emerged, the big god named it Light, and there was then a god made for light. With light came darkness, and thus also the god of darkness, etc., etc., etc. Now, in order to manage all of this, I took on the Akashic Record, which is a mythological place, kind of like a library of infinite wisdom where all knowledge is cataloged. And the god of knowledge is the god of true names and is also the god of magic in my world. From here, what they have done is they have gone, cool, we've got this world, we need to look after it, we need more gods to manage different things because it's too much. And so, you know, people, like different creatures and entities and things started ascending to divinity and started getting places. But one person, one deity was a little bit more jealous of the others, and that was the god of destruction. He basically broke the one taboo that all gods had, which was you cannot directly interfere or intervene with the plane. You cannot go there. You can't, you know, mess around with other churches and stuff like that. He disobeyed. He left the divine realm, went into the world, and started rampaging. And he was the god of destruction, so it's what he did.
Okay. Right.
However, at first he didn't realize that. At first he thought like, oh, nothing's gonna happen. You know, the elder god is like a toothless dragon. You know, I'm fine. But he eventually shapeshifted, morphed, and transformed into the Tarask.
Oh, interesting.
And in doing so, forgot his own name. And so the god of destruction was forever removed from the pantheon, and became the Tarask. The Tarask was eventually defeated by the elder races, which are the dragons, the elves, the dwarves, the fairy folk, and a few others here and there, the merfolk, you know, a couple people. And they banded together to destroy the Tarask, but they couldn't kill it. So what they did instead was they separated the body into multiple pieces and buried it in 7 great dungeons around Olestria. These ones then began to spawn monsters. So the idea of monsters in my world come from those who were inherited by the blood of the Tarask versus the non-monsters who were created because they were given true names. Orcs, for example, the original orcs in my world, which are now considered the ancient orcs, were mindless savages. They had a culture, but their culture was entirely based on violence. They could not speak to one another. They couldn't even refer to one another. Like that's how wild it was. It was like, you know, you couldn't say, "Hey Jerry, go and pick up that." You would just yell at someone until they listened to you. But
effective.
Yeah, it's effective. It worked, and it's like I'm gonna kill everyone until the person I want to speak to is left standing. So eventually, the world changed and shifted. There was a war against some dragons. You know, like lots of events that happened. Not the important stuff, but eventually, which is the turn of the century that you're going to be playing in. A great sage and his dragon companion named the first of the monster races.
Okay.
And by giving them a name, awoken them to sapience. Now this was inspired by an anime, and I'm gonna give a hero point to anyone in the chat who can name that anime. But yeah, so by awakening the species, they then were able to make their own decisions on whether to be good or evil. And then when they realized that this was something that could happen, more people started to do it, but it came at great cost. The humans, the person who did this eventually found out that every time you gave someone that sapience, a piece of your essence and your being was forever removed and destroyed. To the point where you would no longer be reborn or even resurrected or reincarnated. None of that would happen. You would basically just be offering yourself up. It became eventually forbidden magic, so like you weren't allowed to awaken other entities unless, you know, big extenuating circumstances. But before that happened, a number of the races were turned from monsters to allied races. And this new turn of the century is what sparks everything going on right now. The thing that was brought by the monster races to contribute was the idea of something called devouring magic.
Okay.
So devouring magic is magic that involves you ingesting something. So potions, kind of magical fare and things like that. That was given to the races, because before it was like, cool, I need a health potion, and it was basically this metallic bitter thing that you just, it's like drinking like cough syrup, it's just like, or whatever. But the devouring magic was about, no, if you are strong and you take from the strong and know how to harvest and protect it and prepare it well, you can inherit the strength of the thing you have consumed. And that was the nature of it. And it didn't just extend to monsters, it extended to plants as well. So like healing herb, if you just ate and chewed on a healing herb, sure, you'd kind of like cure an infection of your gums, right? But that'd be about it. But if you knew how to treat the healing herb properly, you could make a healing potion that was delicious, And that was kind of the gift that they bestowed. So our game, Food Fight, is going to be based on the exploration and discovery of this. So within like maybe the last 10 years, food has started to coincide with magic, and now chefs and adventurers and the like are going on quests not just for money but for like reagents. For example, now in my world, phoenixes are incredibly rare because there was a great hunt for phoenixes, and they're now living in seclusion because people want to make their reincarnation scrolls, and for that you need the egg of a phoenix, which only occurs when you kill a phoenix, and it's alive. It's in that egg state for like less than a minute, and you need to basically freeze it, take it back, and then reignite it, and then cook it before it transforms into another phoenix. It's one of the most difficult meals to prepare as anything with phoenix eggs in it, but if you do, it will give you a reincarnation the next time you die. When you die, you immediately just pop back to life.
Intriguing.
Yeah. So that is the base premise of this world, the base premise of the game at the very least.
I like it. I like that. Is very. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm excited to play around in your world and to see what happens with it.
Oh yeah, and it challenges. It definitely challenges a lot of what people perceive as what is good and evil. Like for example, like the idea of a lich. For example, there is a lich in my world called Selak Frayne, who I love. He's my favorite character. He's probably the closest thing to an OC character in this world that I have. And Selak Frayne is known as the thrice cursed lich. He lives in one of the great dungeons that holds a piece of the Tarask. And he lives at the very bottom with an army of monsters protecting his dungeon. Very terrifying. However, he is thrice cursed by the previous adventurers that had visited him. The 3 curses. You can never turn down a request made of you. You may never refuse to answer a question asked of you. You may never turn away someone who has asked for a favor. So basically the reason he built the dungeon wasn't because he wanted to like sit on a throne and be all like moody and evil. Is people would just be constantly asking him for a name and shit, and he's just like, no, please go away. I'm done. I don't want to be evil anymore. Like, oh my god. And then he paid monsters to say, do not let anyone approach me.
Essentially, he's a genie who has to do what he's asked of, and he doesn't want to do it anymore, so he has monsters protecting him.
Exactly. But it's also really funny too, because he only has one monster that talks to him, because the other monsters also don't know about the curse. So it's like, hey, listen, the bathroom's up on the 3rd floor of kind of flooded. Can we have some money to go and repair it? Yes.
Are we gonna have to kill this guy?
Oh, that's cool. Awesome. Hey, listen. It's Sarah's birthday on the weekend. We're hoping we can get the week off. Yes.
But he doesn't have to say yes to everything. He just has to answer.
Yes. Well, no. He cannot turn down a request. He cannot refuse a request. So if they ask him like, "Are you happy with this?" He'll say, "No, I'm not happy with this, but we can still do it." Yes. Like.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, he's a hilarious character. I love him to bits. Easily one of my favorite OCs. Okay. So let's go to another one of the audience questions. We've taken a chunk of the world build. Leo the Lionhearted, first time chatter. Welcome in, Leo. Nice to meet you. Question Calindria sent me. I have a question. Sorry, question Calindria sent me. Oh yeah, Calindria sent you. Okay, well thank you, and thank you, Calindria. Hi, Calindria. I have a question. What is the best way to incorporate an insanity meter into a D&D game?
Ooh.
Interesting question you have. Yes.
Ooh, I like that. That's creative. An insanity meter. Like, well, how would you define that? Like, what would that entail? Like, obviously, if it's say like the insanity meter reaches a certain point, what does that do to your character? I guess you'd have to define those terms first.
Yeah, what does insanity mean to you, and and how does it hold up? I mean, all right, let's start by defining insanity, right? What do you think of the pink ears or the purple ears?
Yeah, pink kind of gives a life to it. I like that.
Yeah, there you go, like that.
Almost Fey touched, very Fey touched.
That's what I was thinking. I just kind of did that by accident. Anyway,
Just clicking around and be like, oh, I like this.
Yeah, you have no idea. All right, let's. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make some chili oil while we're talking. All right, so insanity meters. Now, I know I talk about Pathfinder a lot, and I will continue to do so because you can't stop me, and it's my channel. But I think I love how Pathfinder runs their 5-level system, right? Like D&D kind of does it with their they kind of do it with the exhaustion levels, right? Like you get to this exhaustion level, this happens. You get to this exhaustion level, yada yada yada. I would work insanity in the same sort of way. I would have it work like almost identical to exhaustion, with the ability to perhaps change into like, oh, okay, cool. You know, like you've got exhaustion level 5, or in this case, insanity level 5. What that means is that your character is now, you know, kind of maybe paranoid, and because you're paranoid, you have disadvantage on perception checks while you are, you know, kind of like suspicious of everything, which then could turn into full-blown psychosis. And you have people who are like, you know, okay, well, cool, like you now feel as though someone is attacking you, and you'll need to roll a wisdom save if an ally makes an attack within your vicinity, because you accidentally mistake them for a villain or someone who's being aggressive towards you. But there are lots of different ways to define insanity. I would say eventually leading into a particular type of condition. So I would say you would eventually develop schizophrenia, you would develop a phobia, you would develop a mania, you would develop a, what's the other word? Like you would also develop a obsession, for example. These are things that would just come about, and it has to be something natural, because yeah, insanity is not, it's a rough thing to tell someone, hey, you have to play a crazy person, right? Because it's such a loaded thing,
right? You know? Yeah,
it's such a loaded thing, because in my mind, right, like there is no such thing as a disability that impairs your character in a way that it can't be used, right? I've played with one-armed archers. I've played with people in wheelchairs who are monks. I've played characters who do have.
That's awesome.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, the monk with the wheelchair monk was freaking hilarious, because you know what he did? He actually had hubcaps, and he would take off the hubcaps and use them as ninja stars. It was amazing. I love that character. He was so much
cool.
But the same thing with any kind of mental illness and stuff like that as well. It doesn't mean that it needs to impede your character in such a way. So if you want to turn it into a condition, you need to define, as Quincy said, what does that mean? Is it something you're looking at impairing the person statistically? Then great, have that clear definition. If you want to turn it into a condition that's roleplay elemented, then look at it as being exploring a mental disability, and work with that player to roleplay that, you know, like work with that person. Like, yes, your character is starting to see things and hallucinate. Reality is not as it seems, or your memories are starting to give way. Play with the person, you know, don't look for a mechanical reason to need to do that.
I like that. Yeah, definitely you have to define your terms of what is the purpose of the insanity meter. Oh, we have an insanity meter in our campaign. Cool. What does that do? Like I know certain characters have when they do certain spells that say if they cause a damage to someone else, they'll have to roll for it. Well, how does that impede their psyche for the next several rounds? Or like how does that what is failing this check for hurting someone else do to me? Am I okay with it? Or if I fail it, am I now at disadvantage or just like stunned, or I have to succeed this check until I can get back to normal? Or I become more lucid. Others could be like what's a game that has a dungeon? Darkest Dungeon has a insanity type of mechanic where like if a character gets say hit more often than not, they'll take a point of stress. Actually, it's called stress. It's not insanity. It's a stress damage. It's like a stress meter. And the more stress that the character has, eventually it goes into it starts affecting their health and it starts affecting like what they do. So that could be interesting. Like if you wanted, you could do something where if your character or a character goes through psychic damage, or is dealt more of a specific type of damage that just affects them to a deeper mental level than any other type of damage. You could define that and have that be something that's stated or written down and noted beforehand to be like, if I take this type of bludgeoning or slicing damage, I potentially take more insanity checks or get those involved with it, which would be cool. It'd be another thing to balance, but you'd have to define it and simplify it in a way that's easy to be taught and something to be like, okay, I'm going to teach you this feature or aspect of the game. I tell it to you, now explain it back to me. Do you understand it, kind of thing? Like, can it be that easily absorbed?
Because I mean, ultimately, that's part of it as well. Like, as a GM, your responsibility is to make things digestible for your players, so that they
digestible. That's a good. Yes, that's the word.
Yeah,
good word.
If it's not, then it does get to that point where it's just like, well, I just simply don't know how to play, or I'm now struggling to keep up with the other people who may have a better grasp. Because the thing is we all learn at different paces as well. So
absolutely,
so yeah. There's no need to overcomplicate it if you don't need to. But yeah, I mean, hell, if your players are into it, then yeah, easy done. Okay, let's see, where are we at? By the way, I love these questions from chat. By the way, these are absolutely amazing.
Yeah, keep them coming.
Yeah,
more questions.
Throw them out there. Okay, cinnamon sticks, delicious. Oh, Odd Bandicoot, they are. Edible candles, edible flower pots. Oh, speaking of Hessen Blumenthal, have you seen his edible candles?
Me? No, I've not. What is that?
White chocolate. With like melted salted caramel inside, and then it literally is shaped just to look like a candle that's like partially melted. And then when you bite into it, it just oozes. And can
you actually light it?
I don't know if you can. I think you can. I want to say you can, because it's like the melting chocolate.
Yeah, that would be very intriguing. Like if you could actually make a candle from.
See, you'd have to find a way to make a flammable wick. And I think the way I would do it is, you know what I would. Okay, so here's what I might do. I might have. You know the what's it called? The dragon's beard candy.
Yeah.
That really stretchy candy. Mm-hmm. Weave that into a wick kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cover it in like a thin layer of like gelatin, like a super thin layer, just enough to like harden, and keep it rigid. And then put like the tiniest bit of like maybe like a high proof cognac. Just drip it just slightly over the wick, and then use that to light the top of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Interesting.
And then that way the cognac slowly melts hopefully the middle of that top bit, and then hopefully the dragon's hair catches, and then you've got the casing slowly melting, but then the flame being hopefully fueled by the although I also imagine you just going woof and just go.
That's how I imagine it too, because Dragon's Beard is so light and very airy, and I I'd almost say that it'd be wonderful if you could do that. But like I feel like if you would try to weave Dragon's Beard into kind of a rope, it would almost like melt together into just eventually just like a stick of candy.
Stick. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But it's an interesting thought. I'll have to check that out. That candy.
Edible wick that you can light on fire. That's the next goal. There you go. All right. Looking for more questions. Again, guys, please feel free to throw out any questions to myself or Quincy about anything we're doing. Hey, T-Berry, coming from the tavern. Nice to see you. Pull up a chair. Let's see. Heroforge minis. Yes, these are Heroforge minis. We are making Sullen Pippa, a fairy that Quincy is going to be playing in my homebrew campaign of Olestria, called Tales of Olestria Food Fight. So that is where we're going to be chilling out. Dropped a follow. Yay! Thank you so much. Is that a Coco shirt, Quincy?
It is. This was a custom shirt that I had designed for the holidays. Unfortunately, the artist would like to keep the rights to themselves, which they have every right to do so. So it is a one of a kind.
Oh, there you go. Beautiful. Can we get a good view of it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Audience. Oh, that is wonderful. That is absolutely
wonderful. It's two characters. It's obviously Coco, and then my friend likes to play necromancers, and her character is Raccoon. And so I got them commissioned together in like a little fighting pose and like on an adventure and stuff. It was fun.
Oh, okay? Well, thank you. I didn't realize my title apparently is from my previous stream. I tried to change it. I think it just borked. We're doing Heroforge Legendary, which is where we're building a Heroforge mini with none other than Quincy. We're answering your questions about all things role-playing game related, and just hanging out, having a chill stream. We've been raided by Modular Realms. Thank you for your raids 12 minutes ago. Much appreciated. Big love. Welcome in. And let's see. Oh, chat's booming. All right, here we go. There we go. Yay! Okay, good. Yeah, I've caught up. Yes, excellent. So, I guess my next question here is for you, Quincy. Now you have look, you are what I like to call a chaos bunny. I love you. I'm
sorry.
Never be sorry for it, especially not with me. Chaos bunnies are, in my definition, people who take your expectations and decide to take right-hand turns. Whether that hook turn is intentional, right, or if it's because they're or if
bored.
Yeah, they're bored. Could be a number of different things. So I guess my question here for you, Quincy, is that as someone who enjoys playing on the more chaotic side of life, what advice would you give to someone who needs to work in a team or on a channel or with a group of people, while at the same time enjoying that love of anarchy and doing those kind of like cool and wacky things?
I'd say you'd always want to know that it is a team story. The point of being, like, I guess the reason to be a chaotic character is that you want to have, it's like you almost forcing moments that are awesome or out there and wild. It's like you kind of want to have the spotlight on you for a little bit, which is completely understandable in a game that you're supposed to do wonderful, adventurous, and legendary things. Which is, the draw to play a chaotic character. It's like, oh, I'm gonna set this hut on fire and run away from it and see what happens. Just leave the poor DM trying to figure out what's gonna go on. I would say that if you do love playing chaotic characters like I do, is that you allow and you celebrate with your team when they have their moments as their own characters. Because, if you're playing a straight true good, lawful good cleric who has to constantly be cleaning up after the mess of the chaotic members of the party, celebrate with them or give them moments to grow their own character. So like if they're like in our campaign with Wild Beyond the Witchlight, we have a character, Ebby, played by Shane Wally, who is a druid who's more of our true good, neutral, chaotic good, more of a just a regular good, real good, and has talked us out of several fights by communing with the boss battles, just to be like, I could help you solve this out. We don't have to fight, kind of thing. And me and my other party members are like, I want to fight it. Let me fight it. But we fight it and then we're unconscious on the floor. And then, Abby comes up and is like, we don't need to fight. This is okay. What can I do to help you? And whether we like it or not, it kind of often goes that way where our true good not chaotic character has saved our hides because and that's just the way it goes. And to understand that like it's not always, it doesn't always need to be chaotic. Like the story in the session doesn't always need to be full of just anarchy. But kind of know when is a good time to and when not to. It comes from being understanding and learning to read the room. And it's a balance. It's a balance. Like a good story is a give and take. It's not all about focus on one character necessarily. So that would be my advice: is enjoy your chaotic moments, but let your other party members and even your DM have moments to where they get to enjoy what they're creating as well, and give them a moment to shine during that session.
Wonderful. That's beautiful, and I could not agree more. I as a GM, I definitely appreciate. And this is why I said there's no need to apologize. If you've watched our Fool's Gold game, right? Quincy definitely ran rings around a few of the encounters. Again, because it was the first time I was playing with you, and I thought to myself, I looked at your channel, and then I met you, and I was like, oh, this is not going to be wholesome. This is going to be something exploding. And it did. It absolutely did. It because and I think that's why you and I get on so well. Is because we sat there and we're like, oh no, he's like me. He's like me. Abort.
You're like, this is not a calm character. This is I get in so much trouble.
Next thing I know, you're flying in the air with a ballista version of Coco, bombarding fireballs down on mechanical raptors, onto the salads that we were supposed to be collecting. Sneaking behind this big Italian chef and just like separating like all of his flour from like self-rising flour to regular ones, like setting fire to his oven, turning it into an explosive, literally putting just like salt on everything, and then blaming the rest of this tiny little kobold crew who has no idea.
It was perfect. It was
amazing.
perfect.
And the thing is those moments are magical because they didn't take away from me. They didn't take away from Carson, who was sharing the scene with you. And I think your words ring very true. And that is the important thing to walk away with and remember. Like, yeah, it's celebrate with your friends, celebrate with your team, and you'll have the best time, the absolute best.
100%.
All right. Let's hit back onto this guy before we go to the next question, because we've got a couple of them now coming in, which is great. Guys, if you want to ask questions, collect them up, start them with the word question, and then we'll read them out. Okay, so let's have a look at this guy. How are we vibing on Sailor?
I like it. I love the colors in his little vials on his pockets. I like that. The belts. Can we look at the belt for a second?
Sure. Okay, so the belt is a twisted bit
kind
of
of
cloth. With what's underneath this strap is actually another bit of cloth that kind of hangs over it a little bit.
Okay, could that be red? Can we make that like a red, like a piece of red fabric?
We can go with a bright red.
Yeah.
Or we can go with like more of a brick red, like kind of almost like a it's kind of like got these little brown undertones as well.
Almost faded. I like that. I kind of want to give him extra character. Like as this is happening, as like we look into the character, it defines who they are, and I want that what he has wrapped around him kind of be something that he keeps with him. Like not only is it functional, but it also adds to a little bit of his backstory, which I could probably posture that. Like I don't have anything now, but I love the fact that if it's something that kind of is striking to his character, that there's a reason for that.
Let's look at that, because I think this is a good exercise and a good moment. Oh, I don't hate a streak of red in there either.
I don't either, honestly. You should put it maybe under the white, like right there, because you still have like a. Now looking at it now, it's a little red, white, and blue, so he kind of looks like a little patriotic. Maybe.
Well, look, I'm not American, so.
No, red, white, and blue. Oh my! USA.
Okay, so I guess this is a good opportunity. Let's so before we get to the next question, let's take this. Whenever I design a character, right, I always break it down into 3 key elements. Beyond this, the role play is the background is I wouldn't say inconsequential, because I like including as much of the background as I can in my story. but like
Mhm.
it's less important than these three distinct points. Why is your character on the adventure that we're going to be playing? Why is your character invested in the team and working with them? And
Mhm.
what motivates your character into being in this adventuring state? Like, why aren't they an NPC working at a farm? You know what I mean? Those three questions are the only ones that I really, really delve into. So, to explore that a little bit with Salen, so the quest, as it were, is you guys are from a restaurant, and the
Mhm.
restaurant is going to be struggling a little bit. There's a huge influx of unique, very high-profile taverns and pubs and hotels and food carts and a whole bunch of different stuff.
Nice.
And your restaurant has been around for a while. You have like the regular customers that come in, but the new resurgence of like magic cuisine is now going to be forcing your characters to reconsider your menu. You have to
Oh,
keep
so we're Bob's Burgers.
yeah, basically. So basically, you've got Teddy who comes in all the time, and yeah, you know, like yeah, exactly.
So good.
So you and your crew are about to embark on an adventure to try and figure that out. So I guess my first question here to answer this is what places Salen on this adventure? Why does Salen wish to go on this journey?
Ooh, that'd be interesting. Okay, so I should probably come up with that. I feel like, and I'd like to talk with your favorite narrator about this because I feel like giving him a buddy motivation is probably going to be the strongest of why he's where he's at and why he's there. Like, I mean, like a grill master and a spice chef kind of working together. I feel like it kind of came in, and depending on how his intelligence versus my charisma is kind of like that typical duo trope of like, you don't really talk much. I'm the one with the brains here. We don't worry about him, kind of thing. I feel like he would be use that buff character as protection, but also kind of like as, you know, his only friend, so to speak. So that would probably be his motivation to do what he's doing now. I think what his goal is, Salen's goal would be to I don't know, in your world, is there like a special super rare ultra magical spice that's kind of legendary? Like if it was like
there are so many. I will give you. You know what? Let's figure this out. Take me a D6. Give me a D6.
Alrighty, we rolling some dice. I like it. I like
yeah, I mean,
right.
Because I am an improv GM if nothing else. So let's do this. Let's do this. How many?
I rolled a 3.
I
rolled a 3.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna pull up my.
Oh, how many? Oh, I rolled 6 dice. Oh, it's a 3. It's a 6. I don't know.
Okay, there we go. Okay, let me open this up, and then I'll share. I'll even share it with the audience. Like I don't mind. Like I don't have
Let's go.
I have some notes, but I don't have like. I don't have all the notes. Hold on, here we go. I just need to make sure that I don't have that open when I share it with everyone. Homebrew, rare magic items, rare magic food. Let's go with ingredients. There we go. Okay. So now I can open this up here and boom. Is that gonna show up? Oh yes, I need to. Go. And nope, it's just gonna be difficult.
Love rolling dice.
Oh yeah, rolling
My favorite
dice.
part of D&D.
There we go. Okay, here we go. Rare magic items. There we go. It's in the back there. So by the way, this is my secret page of like all of my stuff. So I've got races of Alestria, the gods, the freaking histories, cosmology, myths, legends.
Oh, you have been working on this a lot. You got a lot of it. You got a little bit kind of already ready.
Look, and by the way, this is gonna go on World Anvil one day. Don't tell Janet.
It's exciting.
I swear, everyone knows how close me, Janet, and Dimitri are, and it's like I keep meaning to, but I'm sorry, I keep doing this instead. All right, so we got 3 items.
I know, right? Same. I'm like, I love World Anvil, but it's just like sometimes I just go back to what I'm used to.
Yeah. Okay, so we got 3. You got 3, right? So we're gonna get 3 things. So firstly, I want to introduce one of my favorite things, which is sunlight garlic. Now, sunlight garlic is a for me a particularly special one because it is like kind of like almost like holy garlic. It is
Okay.
the worst thing, the natural born enemy of vampires. It was
Like it.
created by vampire hunters. It only is cultivated at the top of jagged mountains, where it is closest to the sun, at an elevation that gives it the most exposure to sunlight. So it actually
Mhm.
absorbs a very strong radiant amount of light. Um, that's the first of these special and rare herbs. Um, let's go with the second one, and let's ask our audience for this one, because I've come up with one. So let's have the audience come up with one. Audience, I would like to ask for you guys for a rare ingredient that's a herb or a spice of some kind. It could be chili. It could be
Ground
rosemary,
or an oil.
an oil. Yeah, it could be anything. Throw out some suggestions there, and I will depending on how many we'll get, we'll either poll it or we'll see which one me and Quincy like the best. All right. Let's go to the next question from our audience here. Okay. Ooh, that's a good one. Let me just make sure that that's the one I'm up to. Hey, welcome, Red Fox. Nice to see you. Okay. There we go. Okay, beautiful. Okay, cool. All right, so question here from TARDIS Electra. Where do you go to look for a D&D group, either in person, with COVID, or online? So, hang on, wait, let me try that again, because it sounded like you were looking for people with COVID to go play D&D with. Don't do that. Where do you go to look for a D&D group, either in person or with COVID online?
Kind of like in the world of COVID happening now.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's how I assumed it'd be.
Excellent. Yeah, I did.
The reader between the lines.
Yeah.
I have COVID and I would like to
Ladies
go
and
out of
gentlemen, this
the
is why
No.
grammar is very important.
Let's eat, Grandma. Let's eat, Grandma.
Yeah, because I mean, I think there was Leno and Woodley had a great line, which was like, "You made love to me, a soulmate, I belong." If you change the grammar up, it says suddenly, "You made love to me, asshole mate, I belong." You know, like,
Yeah.
Grammar is super important, right?
Punctuation.
Yeah, please, do so. Yeah, anyway. So, great question for you, Quincy, there. Where do you go to look for a D&D group, either in person or online?
Discord is amazing.
Yeah.
Discord is amazing. That's how I found a lot of my people. Social media, folks have reached out to me to be like, hey, you want to play D&D? And I'll be like, I'll see if I have time to. I'd love to. But like you said, like if you want to find D&D groups, Twitch has a lot of small communities that are, if you find one that's safe and it's what you feel comfortable with and you kind of are there, just kind of like ask around, be like, hey, does anyone have a D&D group? Or does anyone want to do a one-shot kind of thing? That might be an easier way to postulate that. It's like, hey, because most campaigns start off as a one-shot. That's the birthing ground for it. And it's the safe one because it's a safe commitment. I could do one night of a D&D session with the characters and have fun with it because it could go off that. So like, Discord is a really good one from different communities that you found on Instagram or Twitch. But that's kind of like, that's at least for me, that's where I found mine. People have reached out to me through that, and I found groups through those resources.
Awesome. And absolutely, 100% agree. I think Twitch, Discord, lots of online groups are looking for players. Like honestly, it's probably my most requested thing is like where can players go to meet up and stuff like that. Another great resource is, if you ever check it out, let me put the link here, and hopefully I will not get banned.
Well, if you post it, I think it's okay because you can post links in your own chat.
Oh no, it's not that. It's the actual name of the link. Triggers a particular word. It's start playing .games, but the way that the dot is, it reads the NGG and then trigger flags it, and then I'm like, yeah, okay.
I see.
Yep. So
I see.
Yeah, there you go. Start playing .games is a great channel run by the guys who have the channel, the TPK, the TPK guys. They wonderful group of people, and lots of public games for you to go and check out. over on that site. So go check it. Yeah, go have a look, and yeah, lots of people.
Awesome.
Yeah, Tim Scott met my GM on Start Playing. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, lots of great people there. And there are both free games and paid GMs. So like yeah, you'll find some stuff. That was a great question. Thank you for that one. Let's see. Okay, next question here is from Simolzen. Question for the both of you. What are your favorite TTRPGs and why?
5e, because it's what I started with. That's all I know.
It's a nice easy one. Wow, that's actually for me that's really hard because a lot of people call me the Pathfinder guy because before I was Dead Aussie Gamer, I was actually Ask a Pathfinder. But then I realized that I couldn't work for D&D if my name was Ask a Pathfinder. So I changed.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it was. And I love Paizo. Even to this day, I love Paizo, and I've actually worked with one of the lead writers, Eric Mona. We've worked together a couple of times as well. So when I say I love Pathfinder, understand that it's a statement of, like Pathfinder's not my favorite, but it's really good, and that is going to tell you how much I love my favorite. The game that I love the most is one that I've only ever played like maybe 1 or 2 games in, and it's a game called Through the Breach. It is a card-based early 1900s magic steampunk horror game, and I love it to bits. I love the aesthetic.
That's awesome.
I love the vibe.
Wait, what's it called again?
Through the Breach. And I guarantee you, Quincy, given the opportunity, I will run it for you 100%. Like,
My Word Games.
Weird Games, yeah.
Weird Games, WYRD.
Yeah, so they run a war game called Malifaux, and this is their role-playing game associated with that kind of world building and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I made a character. Ironically, he was a chef. I forgot about that. And he was a chef, and he was actually a nightmare. And what I actually got was Big Maw as because you randomly generate certain elements of your character, like, your character's background and things like that, which I love. It's like a tarot reading almost. And my tarot reading made me a mimic. So I was actually someone disguised as a human, but I was actually a demon. And the power that I got was the big mouth. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'll make a chef. And then I thought, what would be really funny is I was this big fat chef. And then I had my stomach in my stomach. Like, so my body ripped in half and there were teeth in the middle, and then I just... it was so good. It was so amazing.
I am very intrigued with this.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it more. But if you get a chance, you guys, I've run a couple of Through the Breach games. In fact, if you look up Through the Breach RPGs, you'll probably just see my face everywhere. It is a highly underrated game, as far as I'm considered. It is a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun. I literally had a road called Bunny Trail yesterday I had to go on. All I could think of was going off the topic Bunny Trail to Chaos Bunnies. Yeah, that's what we can call it now. Like the Chaos Bunnies on the Bunny Trail. Yep, 100%. All right. Let's see. Okay, let's make a little bit of progress with this mini. So, okay. So, colorations and wise, we've got the belt and that's sorted.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, I've kind of gone with the Salt Bay pose kind of thing, like with the, he's got like the little pinchy type thing. Which we can easily.
I like the fact that if he's looking at it, like he's analyzing it. He's kind of checking it out.
Yeah, I can do that.
Or could you make it like he's about to throw it? Like he looks like he's throwing the spice?
Yes, I can.
Because I feel like that's probably what he would be more doing then.
Okay, so if in which case what I could actually do is, what if we went with so if we go with I'm just going with a blade, but we don't have to have a blade. But if we have
Ooh, a sling. Ooh.
Yeah, so we can go with either a sling or we can go with the bag
Mm-hmm.
and kind of have your character like sort of reaching into the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's almost like he's about to.
Ooh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like almost like he's about to like
Yeah.
do the
Mm-hmm.
arc. Let's see, because we've also got a list. We've also got some spells we can throw in here.
Ooh.
So mostly fires and lightnings and stuff like that.
So what does that look like? What is
Let's see.
like an example?
Okay, so if we can just move the arm a little bit so that we can see what it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Fireball.
That could kind of work. Let me work some magic real quick. Okay. Let's go to the next question while I'm working on this. From Flying VS Farms, what is your favorite attribute to give your characters? That's a good one. I like that one.
I like. I'm either between like intelligence, wisdom, or charisma. That's kind of the three that I really care about. Like dexterity, strength, and constitution are nice, but I don't know. It doesn't fit with what I try to play. So I really like to have high investigation and high perception. So like wisdom is probably intelligence is probably the top because I like to play an artificer the most. So with intelligence the top, then it goes charisma, and then probably wisdom. So I probably I dump a lot into wisdom mostly, but I say that, and Salem actually has the highest wisdom I've ever played in a character with this one, so I'm excited to see how that goes. But I love doing perception checks and investigation checks and being able to succeed on those, or as much as I can.
Okay,
like
so
my perception check for Salem is a +7, so you like see everything.
Nice. I think for myself, I am quite a big fan of strength characters. I don't know. I feel like me and narrator are kind of on the same boat with that.
Yeah.
We like big dumb goofballs. It is our way. It is the way. And yeah, it's yeah. I mean, look, it's not that big and dumb means that you have to be stupid, but I think because so without tooting my own horn, I believe that I am relatively intelligent, like as a so I say relatively, okay, because I don't want people to start saying, oh, but Rob's a mathematician, and I'm like, well, you know what, Rob can go math all he wants, okay. Anyway, I think for me, playing the big dumb oaf is kind of like that fantasy world, that fantasy roleplay. I wish I were a big dumb oaf, you know. I feel closer to a wizard or an artificer in real life. So I want to, when I roleplay, I want to play something a little different, little change.
Interesting. Yeah, that's fair.
All right. What do you think of something like that? Like,
I like that a lot. That's really cool. It's like all that spice is power and it's arcane infused and everything. I like that a lot. That's so cool.
And we can play around with like a bunch of different colors, maybe. Like I imagine spices to kind of have this orange and black kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like a mixture of like cayenne and ginger and
you know,
pepper in there.
We can also legitimately add like pepper spice to it. So this is actually a
ooh, texture, yeah.
Yeah, this is actually a blood stain.
Okay.
So, for example, like the blood stain kind of dyes it a little bit. So it breaks it up and makes it look a little bit more
Yeah, mixed up.
Yeah, like because that's how it really should be, right? So
Mhm.
we can even look at the like some reds here for that, and then trickles into the black. So yeah, that can
Yeah,
kinda
it's like
work.
his own spice rub mixture. I like it.
Okay.
That's cool.
All right. So I'll play around with that one. As I'm tinkering again, let's go to the next question here. Next question is from the Odd Bandicoot. Nice to see you, Bandicoot. Do you focus on the framework of a story or the characterization? First, if you're not sure how to react to a game event. Let's try that again. Do you focus on the framework of the story or the characterization first if you're not sure how to react in a game event? Okay. It depends for me. It depends on the profile of the game. If I'm playing in like a really professional game with a bunch of celebrities and stuff like that, I always go story. Only because I know it's not about me, and I know it's about either promoting a product or promoting these other wonderful storytellers. If I don't know how to react, my default is the story needs to progress so that we can get to a healthy conclusion. You know, find a way for my character to come to terms with that. So it's like, you know, my character might be a walking eggplant, and our quest is to go and find the queen's crown. Now, if my walking eggplant's quest is to go and find his carrot sister, sure, that might be my quest, but I'm not going to stop the pacing so I can go run off and go find my sister while we have this thing to do. So that's for my high-profile games that I know that like are one-shots and things like that. If we are looking at like a long-term campaign, it's a fair mix. I like my characterization. I will go and ask around town, like, hey, have you seen this giant walking carrot? Kind of looks like me, but orange, you know. You know, and that might get some reactions, and only if the GM wants to play with it, then I follow it. If the GM turns around and says, no, unfortunately, no one in town has seen or heard from your sister, I let it go. I don't keep it going because, you know, I'm not fishing for my quest. I'm sure my GM has something in mind, and I'll wait for the appropriate time for that to be explored. What about you, Quincy?
I didn't quite understand the question, but I guess from what you're saying is like you have to understand when's a good time to push your narrative and when it's okay to kind of just, you know, it's just not time for you, and just kind of understand and give and take with it and learn how to work with what everyone else can do. Now, it doesn't mean that if you want to do something, you can always ask, be like, okay, I'd like my character to try to do this. Is that possible? Let your DM know, because your DM, if they're a good DM, wants you to have moments in the story to shine, and they want you to have moments that are memorable for you and for you to enjoy the session. But I would say that I would have to echo what Dag said, is like the main quest is the priority. Your personal side quest should take second, unless given the opportunity that is a priority, until that becomes a priority in a sense. It can be a motivation, and it can be a point of roleplay and contact, and also depth to add while you're going on your main quest. Like, oh, after this, I'm going to go find my carrot sister, kind of thing. But it's not the current focus, you know. It's a balance. I don't know. I just whatever Dag said, I agree. Yes.
yes. Everything that Dag said. Yep. That's your next life lesson. If Dag says it. No, that's awesome. Okay. I think I'm on the right track here. Just ever so slightly. There it is. Beautiful. And then that way we get to see. You're only overlapping a little bit here. It's coming out of the bag.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
Tilt the bag ever so slightly. Because again, we don't want to overshadow the. We kind of want it to look natural, so it's not.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And then down a little.
Yeah, his talent is very like kind of like a roguish Tinkerbell. Like, instead of the pixie dust where people can fly and it's all happy, he just poofs like a rib spice rub in their face, and they just like go blind and just it burns them.
Amazing. these poor NPCs that I've got lined up.
I need to figure out what kind of spells I can give him. I think I don't know what kind of rogue I did. Inquisitive rogue. I think that's the one that I went with.
I think it's an inquisitive rogue.
So, which kind of like always makes he's just like always on the lookout for stuff, which is I think is kind of cool.
All right. Now maybe it's just me, but I feel like the thick eyebrows are making him look rather sinister, or maybe it's just the manic smile I just gave him.
Maybe the bushy eyebrows it's a bit much, yeah.
Okay, so let's have a look. Let's have a look at some eyebrows here. The one with the little slice is not bad.
Yeah, it kind of makes him look a little bit more still mischievous for sure.
Yeah,
but not as like maniacal.
Yeah.
Like much more, he's more playful like this. I like that. Yeah.
All right, there we go. I like that. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sweet. I like it. Okay.
I'm all for it.
So another thing you can always do is you can always mess around with the head and the softness. Basically, that's all the difference between a male and a female profile. So I guess the question is let's have a look at the face and let's fiddle around a little bit. So you've got like kind of the standard human face, which always looks weird to me.
Yeah.
Kind of like the elven face, long, straight-nosed
Very
profile.
angular. Yeah.
The chubbier cheeked dwarven one, which I always think kind of looks nice. Like it's like
that's softer. Yeah, it's a lot friendlier looking. But it also looks like he's chipmunking like something.
Yeah. The gnomish one, which is the one we were using before. Elegant features. This is blue steel, basically. Smoother features, so kind of between the elf and the elegant one.
Bit too suave.
Yep, the noble one I think is also suave. Now this one is basically the Asian inspired one, like the just the cheekbones and the profile. And this is the African American kind of one, like kind of like wider features. This is the dwarven one, which I kind of like that one.
I kind of like that one. That's an option. Yeah.
The orc.
Very square jawed. Yeah.
Yeah. The giant.
Yeah, the wide nose.
Yep.
And the separated eyes.
And then we're starting to go into zombies. Full on orc. Robot man. Goblin. Fairy tale goblin. Hobgoblin. Even more zombied. More zombies.
I guess go up to the second gnome one, second gnome option, not the first one, but that's the first gnome option, right?
Okay, so the second. You mean the dwarf one?
The one above the one right above the one that you clicked on.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks a little bit better. That looks okay.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
All right, that's looking really nice. Okay, let's check on our last little legs here, and then I think we're almost done. We just need the platform to put you on, and like once we're done with the base, we have our mini. Okay, so let's go to the next one while we're choosing these out. Sorry, just go back. Was the anime you were talking about Shinzo? No, it was not. The anime I was talking about was that time I reincarnated as a slime was the inspiration for my name things. Like, yeah, because when he named things, they became like bigger and stronger. Let's see. So what happens if you roll ones while climbing downhill? Dead Aussie Gamer 3 times. Look, buddy, back off, okay?
What happened? What happened? Wait, what happened? What happened?
So a couple of years ago, Guy ran a game called the Broken World Chronicles. You can find the Broken World Chronicles on his channel. It was a great game, and it involved a series of multi-dimensional characters from fantasy worlds who were bound together in order to try and stop an alien race of insects from eating all the realities, right? They were like locusts, basically. So I played a character called Flint, who was a cowboy, a western kind of character. He came from a world where nuclear fallout had wiped out all the different races because the gnomes had basically dropped a bomb on the world to try and save it. But what ended up happening was it made the whole place inhospitable. So the Ironborn, which my character was, were created in order to try and cultivate whatever little land still remained, build railway tracks between these bubble cities that the gnomes lived in, and more. Anyway, Flint was a very hard-boiled Western character, and in one of the games, we ended up like trying to break into like this prison or this kind of bad guy camp, and I fell down because I failed my athletics check. I fell down this hill and cracked my faceplate. Throughout that game, we then time traveled. We went back because we'd messed up, and we tried to climb down the hill again, the same hill. And once again, I rolled a natural 1 on my climb for the second time, and I cracked my faceplate in the same place. We managed to succeed, but then the aliens showed up, and we were about to all get killed, so we decided, screw it, let's try to time travel one more time. We did, and the third time I tried to climb down that was my third natural 1, and I cracked down my faceplate. It's become a permanent feature and a permanent testament to how little my dice think of me in general. Like, just as a general rule of thumb. It was like the worst thing ever, and it was live as well. It was a live show, and I was just sitting there like screaming at the computer because I was like, why in all that is good and holy have I not been allowed to not have this? But you know what? It's now there. He now has it, and yeah.
Awesome.
Oh my God, sometimes dice don't behave.
We love the consistency of it, though. Like
I did too, and it was always a natural 1. That's the thing. It was crazy that it was always a natural 1, and it was using a digital dice as well. Like people were watching it happen. It's the whole thing.
That's
Malakisa,
awesome.
Thank you for the raid. Always good to see you. Let's see. Next question here. Wizard of D&D. My wife loves your TikToks. From to Quincy. So yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
I love Quincy's TikTok as well. Let's see. Dead Aussie Gamer just asked Quincy how to say my name. I came from him just to say it right normally. Simolson.
Simolson?
Simolson.
I'll read it how I see it. That's pretty much, if I butcher it, it's just kind of like, well, that's your name now. Or if you can correct me with like a dictionary kind of like type pronunciation phonetically.
Yeah.
But
look, I'm Aussie, so we barely speak English. So it's Simone. Actually, you know what? If I can give you an Aussie nickname, because that's what we do with our friends, right? Okay, so your Aussie nickname is Simo. That's your Aussie nickname. Your Aussie nickname while you're here is gonna be Simo. Okay, so there you go. I don't know if Quincy's got an Aussie rendition. Quincy, Quasar, maybe Quasar.
Maybe.
Quincy, yeah, probably Quasar. Probably be the closest one. Red Dragon DM says, Dag, do you play Magic Arena? I do play Magic. I haven't played Magic Arena yet. I do love Magic the Gathering though.
What's your favorite colors?
I do like black and I do like red.
Okay.
I however respect blue. And I have played some white, but I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of the white.
Fair.
But no, I used to run a zombie deck, which was one of my favorite ones, and nothing brought me more joy than having 75, 2-3 death touch zombies on the field, and I went, yep, I double this every turn I have. Enjoy. It was a lot of fun.
There is a new commander that is a red-black commander that focuses on food tokens, which is pretty cool. that would be something you could look into. But my favorites were the black and blue. I love Dimir. I love Control. I like rogues and fairies because those are big colors. And I love counter spells and drawing more cards.
Fairies are awesome. I did love the fairies when I got to checking them out. I believe it or not, I actually, for me, it was mostly Yu-Gi-Oh that I was into when
okay,
when I started doing that. But then Yu-Gi-Oh started getting a wee bit silly. In my opinion, I don't like I hate game creep, right? And let's talk about that actually. I think you could appreciate this as someone who does play play card games and stuff. Game creep is where the card game that you're playing goes through a generation, and then after the generation, the new cards have new designs to them, new features, new mechanics that the old cards can't necessarily keep up with. Let's give Yu-Gi-Oh an example, right? There was a point where they added a whole new archetype called Psychic, and there was no cards that were specifically anti-psychic. So it gave all the people who wielded psychic cards a massive advantage. So that's one thing I dislike. How do you feel in Magic the Gathering about like generation creep?
It's so hard to kind of work with that because it is inherently a game that is a pay to win game. Like at its core, it's a pay to win game. Like if you want to consistently win more often than not, you got to have the tools that will allow you that higher percentage of a win rate. That's why land cards are like, you could get like a card that gives you the same amount of land and mana, but it comes in tapped that first turn versus one that gives you the same amount, but comes in untapped. And that price tag is like 10 times the other cost. And it's just, that's just the nature of the game. It makes it hard to consistently enjoy it, and it makes it hard to like really, unless you're super passionate about it, to really invest more time and money into it, because that you're never going to be, at a point where it's going to be like if your goal is to be the best, quote unquote, like I'm going to be the very best kind of thing, you'll never reach it because they're always going to make something new that's going to make the old obsolete and the new specific. And you have to play around what's new and everything like that. So I don't know. It's frustrating. It makes it hard to kind of continual enjoyment of it. But I guess it's something you have to gauge for yourself for that as it comes to it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think if you play a game and eventually lean to putting it down, then I think that's kind of one of the things that you've got to weigh up for yourself. Like, how much do I want to invest in it? I mean, it's a form of entertainment, and all forms of entertainment, whether it be a live play stream or a person who is busking on the street, or in this case playing cards, there's always going to be a cost to that form of entertainment. Never be afraid to pay it, but at the same time, know where your limit is. Do not, this is something I say on my channel. I have some wonderful supporters who subscribe, and I have wonderful, wonderful supporters who donate to my streams. But I always check in on them, and many of them can attest to this. I will actually personally contact you and say, "Are you okay?" I appreciate the money, I appreciate the support, but I ultimately want to make sure that you're okay. I want to make sure that this hobby, this enjoyment that you're doing isn't going to necessarily bankrupt you. And you need to do that for yourself as well when it comes to card games.
Yes, absolutely. And not force yourself to keep into it because of how much you've already invested into it.
Yes.
Like, I've already put so much into this hobby. I got to keep going because otherwise, it would make what I have put into it obsolete. And that's not the case. I know it can feel like that, but don't fall into that pressure of like, well, I've done this for so many years. This is just all I know kind of thing.
Yeah, so. absolutely. And because ultimately, there is no end. It's like buying Red Dragon in Kickstarters. There's always going to be one more, right? There's no such thing as just one more for Red Dragon in and that'll be it. They'll be done. No. Give it 6 to 8 months. There'll be another one, and it'll be just as awesome. And you're gonna definitely be there going, oh yeah, I guess I'll get this one.
I want to play that. I've actually been wanting to play that game for like a long time, the longest time. And I think I might pick it up next time I go to Gen Con just to help play it with some friends in person. But
hey, dude. So guess who's been sponsored to like run Red Dragon and stuff? Like,
really?
Man, yeah, just you need to hit me up, dude. Like I do everything, right? Okay. So yeah, actually, Jenny is the guy, is the wonderful woman who runs their Twitch channel and is one of the main developers with those guys. And yeah, I was promoting the last one, Pub Crawl. It's a lot of fun, and maybe we'll, because you've come onto my channel and done this, maybe I'll come onto yours and we'll play some Red Dragon in. Bring some
Be
friends,
cool.
maybe bring some friends in, or maybe even some audience members, and
Yeah.
invite you to come do Tabletop Simulator, play some Red Dragon in, show you guys the ropes, and yeah, have a bit of fun. That could be
That
great.
could be interesting. Yeah, this sounds like a lot of fun. That would be really cool. In Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah. I presume you've got
Interesting,
Tabletop
yeah.
Simulator.
I do. Yes,
Good,
I do.
good.
I don't know how to work it, but yes, I know I have it.
That's okay. No, I mean, look, it must be hard learning how to work so many different things.
But that's so cool. Of course, Jag knows everyone, like literally. When I was talking to World Anvil, they're like, yeah, Dag knows everyone. I'm like, yeah, he does, doesn't he? It's just just has an in with so many people.
I really do. And you know what? It all comes down to one simple truth. And please, everyone, if you learn nothing from today, right? Be kind to others. That's it. That's the big secret. How do I know all these people? I'm kind to people. I like people. I want to spend time with people in earnest, in my heart of hearts. I want to play games with people. I want to have fun, and that is it. There's no ulterior motive, and people respond to that. People love that feeling because we all share it. We're in a gaming community, and if you are whether you're a new gamer or whether you're an old gamer, all we have is each other to share this hobby with. So celebrate it, enjoy each other's company, and celebrate with other people. Listen to what they want, listen to what they're passionate about, and be passionate with them. There you go. All right.
100%.
Yeah,
I agree.
yay, wholesome moment. Okay. Okay. So, question. I've started working on the base here. I
love
started
it.
looking at some different spices. I've also added in a little bit more of that peppercorn in the in the flames there.
Yeah, I like it.
So my question here is I've added a couple of spice bowls because I was thinking about like what could be kind of cool for the base. So I was thinking like what color spices? Because I was thinking like red, kind of I don't know, kind of looks.
I like the fluorescent looking ones. I love how you did the purple. Maybe a green one.
Green one.
The green is kind of cool.
Yeah, I really wish I could
very
get a
alchemical.
That's my only.
That's okay. Yeah, these are fine because I mean, like you have the reddish already in the spice bag and from the fireball that you got going on here, and that cloud, and the purple and the green just kind of look like supplementary.
Yeah, that's true. Well, what I could also do is I could also add in the green and maybe some bottles or even just like.
Oh, okay.
And we can actually rearrange these. So hold on, let me see. Can I? Okay, so what I can actually do now in Heroforge, which this is probably one of the most impressive things that they introduced this year so far, is you can actually move the legs on the base. So what you can
That's awesome.
Is we can actually
Heroforge is awesome. Like just the customizability you can do. Like I didn't know it was this detailed. That's awesome.
It is nuts. Let me do a quick shout out and a plug real quick. So guys, we are making a character on Heroforge. Now Heroforge is an amazing tool for 3D world building, 3D model making for the purposes of RPGs, or even if you're just into like just like doing these for like the sake of like art and stuff. Now Heroforge 3D print these, but you can actually buy STLs and print these yourself. One of the most impressive things I find about these is that you can also get a subscription to this and actually use it for your artworks as well. So if you want to make group photos for your D&D campaign, great. Buy a subscription. It's like $50 for a year, and that's it. You can now make your own custom like artworks and things like that, which I use for all of my shows. And that one definitely needs to come up the front. I like that one. And yeah, so that is what we strive for. And here is the link for Heroforge as well, if you want to check it out and play with yourself. So there we go. And then maybe we'll move. Actually, maybe we'll move. Keep that one there.
Mm-hmm.
I think we maybe get the spice ball. Move that there. And then we get this one and move it to the front here. Now, I think we may possibly have too many. So what I can do here is clip that in there just so it accents and just makes that look like one piece. Because unfortunately you can't get rid of like a single one.
Sure.
But I think that looked nice. And where is? Nope, I don't want to move that one. This one, yes, and that one. And that one can come there, which means now we can move you. To there. And let's adjust you slightly. And then focus on the eye line. It should be there. All right.
Cool.
What do you reckon of the stage?
I like it. I think the stage looks great.
All right.
It's a pretty
That's
cool
got,
base.
Like, a lot of the oil bottles, the
Yeah.
spices, the herbs. You know, I think that really brings a lot of stuff to the table there. There we go.
I'm all for it. Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's go to another question here. And don't worry, we won't be. I'll be here for a little bit longer, but then Quincy is going to go and start up Quincy's show on his channel, and we're going to go raid into him. So just stick around for that. But just as we're reaching the end of this, T-Berry, this is a wonderful question. Question for both, I guess. I hear D&D is good for depression and anxiety, and just all in all, coping with things. That's why me and my hubby got into it. Has that been true for you guys in any way?
100%. 100% easy. Like D&D is is therapeutic in the way that I never expected it to be, to like handle situations that, you know, in the moment can seem so real because you relate to what's happening because your character is on the line. So you obviously are your own character. Absolutely 100%. Like, you know, sometimes it could be, I remember a specific moment to when an authority figure was yelling at my character, just like, why are you doing this? What could you possibly believe this? And I remember kind of like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to respond to this. Like, how should I respond to this? And then kind of almost froze. But then when it happened again, I was like, this is what I'm going to do. And you kind of learn to build courage, and you kind of learn how to build, you know, yourself up to a point to, like, in a way, stand up for yourself. At least I did, to it, even though it's in a safe place, it's in a safe environment, it's for fun, it's a story, but you also learn how to grow yourself emotionally, and handle different situations. And also, I know some friends of mine who use D&D as a way to kind of like cope with other things they're going through. It's like if they're thinking of transitioning, or if they're thinking of using different pronouns just to kind of just tread water, you know, see what it feels like. They'll make a character with that, and they'll embody that type of a character, and it's really neat. I like that. Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm my chat knows about this. For those of you who are new to the channel and who are meeting me for the first time, first of all, hi. Secondly, I'm gonna be real. One thing you'll always get from me is you'll always get honesty. You'll always get who I am. I am not ashamed of it. But when I was a lot younger, high schoolish kind of area, I was actually a bully. I was a very negative person. I was quite a aggressive person. I was not happy with who I was, and I took a lot of that out on the people around me, and it was a very, very awful period of my life. I'm definitely ashamed of it, but I didn't regret that it happened, because it taught me a lot about, like, where to place my value. Like, what should I value? Do I value people? Do I value myself? Do I love the people who are helping me, or do I spurn them? And it was through a lot of soul searching that I eventually found that I enjoyed geek culture at all, and that was in no small part to D&D. Having been introduced by the person who is still my partner now of 12 years, she introduced me to the game and the like, and set me on a very different path to the one I was on. Um, Eventually, it not only helped me deal with and process a lot of the negativity that I was dealing with at the time, but it also gave me an avenue to explore, like, yeah, actually, it is okay to be a hero. It is okay to be good and kind and say nice things because people aren't gonna laugh at you. And that was one of the big things. Is like in my particular household, positivity was never something that was celebrated.
Hmm.
In fact, my memories of my grandmother, who I lived with for a long time, she would look at me like I grew a third head anytime I told her that I loved her. Like she
Hmm.
thought that I'd want something, or like, whatever. The point is that D&D was instrumental in me becoming who I am, and I think it is a powerful tool for those people who are looking at improving or bettering themselves. Or alternatively, it is also a vehicle to help wherever you're heading on your journey in life, whether it's, as Quincy was saying, if you're someone who's transitioning, maybe you're someone who simply wants to improve your social circles because anxiety might, prevent you from going to a pub or going to a nightclub, right? It's a different scene, it's a different place, it's a different vehicle to get you there. And it's beautiful. It's a wonderful vehicle, and it's something that I hope that through my content, through hopefully my influences and my friends such as Quincy, we get to share not only our love, but also share the keys to these cars and these vehicles so that you can drive yourself wherever you need to get to in life, and you can find yourself in somewhere better and somewhere new. So, yeah, there you go. That's my...
100%. I love that. That's awesome. That's so cool. That's so cool. We love to see actual character growth IRL too. Like,
Yep.
that's amazing. That's so good. Thanks for sharing that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. I look. One thing is I always, my place is safe. My home, my Dead Aussie Gamer channel is always a safe place. As far as long as I'm here, it will be, and it will continue to do so. So there you go. Okay. Have I caught up with chat? Let's see. First time viewer, be kind. Yay! Yes, Sailor Moon, be kind. Be kind. The different colors of the spice look much better. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Dad got me addicted to using it already, Maliki. So yes, indeed. Agree with therapy, especially the right group of people, 100%. Also, by the way, my daytime job, as I said, running it for kids. I have a lot of kids who are on the spectrum or are living with various conditions. D&D is a great way for them to also learn how to communicate as well. It's a different way of communicating. So, all right, I think. Okay, what do you think? Let's start with that. I think
this looks fantastic. I think this looks really good. I love the colors of the bottles. I love the blue and the red there. I love that was changed there. I love the green spice specifically that stayed. The purple bottle is gorgeous. I have no qualms with this. This is great. This is great.
Nice. Okay. Now the last piece, the piece de resistance, and we don't need this, and I want to point this out. It is sometimes, sometimes with Heroforge, you want less is more, like that's always a thing. But I do love to throw this in there because Heroforge also offers dynamic lighting.
Oh.
So we can actually illuminate, for example. And I know that's a bit bright, but what we can.
Well, how does that come across printed? Like, or is this just for the picture?
Well, I'm happy you asked. Give me 2 seconds, and I will show you exactly how it comes across printed.
You left me alone with you guys now. Ho 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 ho. What's your favorite snack? I'm almost out of ginger ale too. I need to go get a snack after this. Don't you feel awkward if you're watching this still? Yeah, I bet you do.
All right. So, yeah, I have a couple of my minis here because, you know, Heroforge Legendary. We pretty much what we do here is we try to teach people and show people like this is Heroforge, this is what it looks like, and then we get these printed out, and then we get to see them in person.
Yeah.
So here is the let me zoom right in here.
Meow.
Welcome to my chest. Okay, here we go, and then let's get that focus button. Beautiful. Okay, so nice and close here, and then there we go. Okay.
Okay. Ooh.
Okay, so. Okay, there we go. And you know what? Let's also make this fair, and let's turn off all of my chroma keys and filters and whatnots. There we go. So this is pretty much as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of my puppet characters for my Return of the Rune Lords, Rise of the Rune Lords games. He is a puppet that has an electric chainsaw. So that's actually what the transparent plastic looks like as well, by the way.
That's so cool. I love that.
It's actually quite nice. Now, if you look where his shoulder is, right, you can kind of see there's this slight blue to it. Now, that's not the lighting, that's not the filter, that's actually on the mini, because if I turn it this way, you can kind of see it's like this dark black kind of color.
Yeah, yeah.
But then as soon as I turn it this way, he's got that blue, yellow light.
So the light comes from the lightning from your chainsaw.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
So
that's really cool.
Here's another one. This is Atlas. Atlas is my. So I actually did a playtest on D20 Deathmatch, which is a PvP D&D game, and Atlas was a character that basically just had massive AC. But if you look behind his hair, because I made a Warforged Aasimar, by the way, that's what this guy is.
That's cool.
Because no one said Warforged couldn't be Aasimars. So where you can see his wings kind of meeting together, I made the blue hair kind of illuminate. So it's kind of so you can kind of see just on the base of the wings there.
A little bit of blue right there,
a tiny little bit of blue. So and then as well, like underneath him, like you can't really see it too well because it's yellow on white. But where the candles are, I also added in a yellow light there just to kind of give it a little bit of light. You can kind of maybe see it on the shins a little bit. Slightly, but yeah, not much. So you don't need to go overboard with it, but little sources of light kind of like change the dynamic a bit. All right, I'm gonna add all my filters so that I can have pretty face back on.
That's so cool, though. Okay, I love that they have so much detail
that's
to it.
Right.
It's really neat.
Alert! No, okay, sorry. I have lots of buttons on my computer. All right, there we go. And there. Yeah. So in essence, the lighting is amazing, and we can play around with it. Like what we've got here is what I like to call the like ambient lighting. So for example, if you are let's say that you're doing something at night with this character, right? So let's say this character being a rogue is like, you know, battling it out and doing stuff. What I would do is I would add a blue hue to it, right? And as you can see there, that kind of gives it that moonlit kind of vibe.
Can you make the spice glow like with that reddish glow? Like have almost the spices be where the magic and light source is coming from?
Okay, so let's get the spice here. Let's say that that's the main spice. All right, let's get that angry red. Lower the intensity. Let's see what dark magic looks like. No.
Ooh.
Okay. But what we want to do here is let's see, how does that look with so that red.
Ooh.
And okay, I'm gonna try and make a new color real quick. So let's copy that one. And then let's make the low colors black. not right. What did I do wrong there? Why is that white? It shouldn't be white. Okay. So let's try that again. Okay, so yeah, this totally needs to be black. Oh, I think because I've got the glow up. There we go. Okay, so
That's neat.
Okay, so we add that glow. And then what we need is we need to add that orange again. So the orange in the middle. And then that burning spice. Oh, so that burning spice is that one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. Yes, that kind of works. Then maybe, oh yeah, okay, so let's try and change the decal then. So that's this color here. No, that's this one. Yes, there we go. Okay, so what can we do here? Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so that's what I was chasing. Okay, so what spice color here do you think would work to make that pop?
Oh, I like that bluish purple.
That one there?
That was, yeah, that's kind of interesting.
I dig that.
It's magic. It doesn't need to make sense.
Exactly. No, exactly. Okay, so let's... And the particle effect looks really nice too.
I do like that, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's gonna be okay. And then I think having that lead into that solid yellow is kind of nice too. That solid red is kind of nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, cool. And then let's head back to the lighting real quick. Play around with the intensity just ever so slightly. Now, keeping in mind, you don't want to add too much intensity because what you're going to end up doing by accident is you're going to turn him into a red-faced character. So,
Right.
So we want just enough that we can...
Just a hint to kind of make sense, yeah.
Yeah. So we want... Yeah, so it's like, for example, that is plenty.
That's perfect, yeah.
Yeah, that is more than enough, right? So there you go. All right, and I think with that, we have now got our character of Salen Piper.
I like it. I like it a lot.
All right, fan-freaking-tastic. All right, well, this character, of course, as I mentioned, is going to be playing on our monthly campaign. It is going to be a long-form campaign featuring, of course, wonderful Quincy, your narrator, Robert Hartley, GM, the dreaded GM, as well as potentially later on down the tracks, the Teen Phoenix and Jameson Stone. We're just going to be playing in this world filled with good food, good friends, and good fun. These are going to be available on everyone's Patreons, so if you are Patreoned to one of these amazing people, then you will be getting the full series as they come out. I guess before we leave you, is there anything you would like to promote or say or chat with our lovely audience about?
I mean, thanks for coming. Thanks for letting me be here. This was a lot of fun. I love this. I'll definitely be getting this on Heroforge. This is so cool. Some things that I'm working on currently. Obviously, I have a book I'm writing, also a story, and we have a couple D&D, potentially Quincy's Tavern specific things coming up soon. So I'm really excited to kind of expand on those when I'm permitted to. I can't really quit at the moment, but I can say that stuff like that is being in the works. But yeah, it's lots of good things are happening, and I'm excited to show them when they come up soon. So big months for that would be March, and then August is another huge month that things are going to be happening. So kind of specifically working towards those.
Very nice. Awesome. Well, it was an absolute pleasure to have you here, Quincy. The last thing I'll leave you with is those 3 herbs and spices that we left off on in terms of like the magic and rare ones. So we didn't get too many from the audience, but that's okay. So we've got the sunlight garlic, We have the salamander chili.
Ooh, looks cool.
Which obviously salamander chili oil could definitely be a whole thing. And then we have the spiced assassin vine wine.
Intriguing.
All right. So assassin vines are basically grapes in a nutshell, but like kind of a more heartier grape. And they are spiced on the vine itself because they are they've got a mild poison on them, which is quite a tasty spice. But I'm gonna add something in here, and I'm gonna throw it in there just because I like it, and that is giant bullet ant venom.
Ooh, okay.
So actually, ants, for example, are a ingredient that they use in a lot of cooking nowadays, and it has this kind of very sharp, almost tartness to it. There's a tang or twinge to it, and it's because when an ant
The venom.
It's not the venom, but when an ant dies, they release a pheromone that tells ants, "Hey, they're dead. We're dead here." And apparently, that has this very particular type of taste as well. And so, so yeah, it'd definitely be something that I'd view as like kind of a nice little thing to throw into the spice ring there. So giant bullet ant venom, which I don't know, pheromone, whatever it's called. Spice assassin vine wine, salamander chili, and sunlight garlic.
I'm intrigued. All right, so got some things on a list to do that Sally could probably try to get.
Yeah. So these ones, I'll even throw this out there. Roll a D100 for me.
Oh boy, oh boy.
We're gonna roll some dice. Do some random stuff here.
Absolutely. Here we go. I rolled that is an 18.
Okay, with an 18. Okay, that is worth 18,000 silver pieces. So in my world, silver pieces replaced gold pieces as the main form of currency. So if you want to translate that to regular D&D, that is 18,000 gold per ingredient that is brought in cookable or in an ingredient. Like that's basically how valuable these rare items are.
Well, that's a good thing I didn't roll very high. So
yeah. So you wouldn't be able to buy them at your local store, but and buying them is now going to be based on the challenge of how expensive they are. So, like for example, the salamander's chili. I need to figure out where that comes from. I kind of like the idea that maybe a salamander chili is actually not a chili itself, but in
Salamander's tail.
Or crazier still. The remaining placenta of a salamander after it has recently laid a clutch of eggs. For example. Yeah, right? Like not only do you have to get this thing, but you have to get it at a very particular time during their breeding, which is when they're most aggressive, which is why it costs 18,000 silver to like get this, you know what I mean? So there you go.
That's wild.
Sweet. Is Quincy playing on Monday's game? I don't know. Hey, are you playing on Dread's game on Mondays?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. I think I have other things that I have going on, but
yeah,
I might be lurking there. I might be lurking.
Because we did a one-shot prelude to the Storm King's Thunder that he's doing on his channel. I'm not going to be attending either, unfortunately. But I know Thomas is, and I know some of his regulars are. It's Dread's return to regular streaming as well. So
nice, good.
So yeah, we're gonna come out and support him. Okay, cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to say farewell to our friend Quincy for the time being. He is going to go over to his channel and prep for his stream. We are going to go and raid him. So stick around and feel free to ask a couple more questions. I'll be here for about another 2 or 3 minutes while Quincy's getting set up, and then we'll go and hang out more with this amazing and wonderful human being. Thank you again, my friend. I look forward to gaming with you and sharing everything that is your wonderful experience with the world very soon.
Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here and letting me be here and talk and chat all things D&D, getting to know you better. I appreciate that. This has been a real treat for me. So thank you so much. But I'll say good night and goodbye for now. So thank you for letting me have this moment with you.
All right. Farewell.
Bye.
All right. Cool. Quincy is... Yep, cool. We are clear. All right. So, yeah. So thank you for joining us, everyone. I hope that you have enjoyed your stay here. Again, my name is Michael, the Dead Aussie Gamer. I do a bunch of tabletop role-playing games here. A lot of my stuff is audience interactive, so if you do want to stick around for my shows, hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button if you feel like giving me a little bit of money, because I use it to feed myself. I eat food. Yeah. So if you have any other questions, now is your last opportunity. Throw them out there if you have anything, and we'll continue. Definitely barbecue. Ooh, barbecue chips. Could definitely use barbecue chips. Thanks, Dad and Q. I have to lurk, but leave it on here to raid. Yay! We will definitely be raiding. So there you go. Let's see. Keeping up with everything. Thank you for the stream. Have a nice day. Yes, we will have a wonderful, wonderful day. I think Dad can attest at how much D&D has helped you gain more confidence, certainly growing beyond the past. Yeah, absolutely. If you do want to see in real time evolution of someone who has grown from role-playing games, definitely go check out my my playthrough of the Curse of Strahd game. The wonderful McBluff, who is in chat with us now. Yes, no, leaps and bounds, my friend, leaps and bounds. You've done absolutely amazing. Flying Farm, glad to find another stream before. Oh, thank you so much. I hope that your time here will be well enjoyed, and I will of course be honored to see you time and time again. This was cool. Thank you for this. No, thank you, T-Berry. Thank you for taking your time to come and spend it with me. Okay. Any other feedback on the on our Heroforge mini? Mythical Turian tipping $10. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's not one of those. Look, when I say this streams are for tipping, you know, this isn't one of them, but I appreciate it nonetheless. That'll buy me some lunch today, so thank you. Quincy has led me to lots of super cool new people. Yeah, look, Quincy is a wonderful person, and Patrick Kiefe, you know, a whole bunch of people that have worked with Quincy in the past. It's all the same thing. We all love each other. We all want to see each other thrive, and we're trying to really push ourselves to do that as well. Tipping is not a city in China. Thank you. T-Berry, thank you for introducing Heroforge to us. No, thank you for watching. Fun stream, sorry, didn't catch the first bit. That's okay. Need to learn how to use Heroforge someday. Any tips? Yeah, Simo, I'd say the biggest tip is if you are making a Heroforge mini, do not just make your base character, right? Do not just use one of the basic poses. Don't just make a generic dwarf, right? What you want to do more than anything else is you want to make it a custom mini, because that's what you're paying for, right? You're paying for something that you cannot buy anywhere else in the world. Okay, and that's it. That's it in a nutshell. So if I had any advice, always go that little extra effort. Take your time with your model. Play around with the different poses. Like here, as you can see, we've added the pose of him pulling spice from the spice bag. We mucked about with the basing a little bit. You know, we made a few custom colors here in addition as well. So yeah, you know, play around with it. That's my big advice. Okay. Art Heart Studios, lurking while working, brother. Have a great stream. Thank you so much. We're just about to wrap up, but yes, thank you kindly. What about make Heroforge for VTT? Well, you can. If you purchase your Heroforge mini and go to buy and then go to minis, down here you have not only the STLs if you want to 3D print your own models, but also 3D tabletop compatible for Tabletop Simulator and the like. So you can also get 3D models if you are using things like Tailspire, or if you're using Tabletop Simulator, you'll actually get a 3D model like this render you can see on screen. You get that. But if you are looking at like a token, if you get the premium membership, which is $50 for a year, right? It's freaking amazing. You can actually get access to the photo booth, which gives you the ability to create customized tokens with these cool custom frames. So if I was making one for Quincy, I'd probably say, you know, something like that maybe. Go to the whole fairy angle. Which again, if you're not into these kind of tokens, not a worry. You can always get rid of the character frame and the background, and then go with a top-down view or even an isometric view if you would like. And you can actually download these as images, and then you can put them in any VTT that you would like. Yeah, so they're amazing. Actually, I really like that. That's a great angle for for a thing. Yeah, definitely love that. Anyway, I digress. And you can even change the kind of quality that you've got as well. So you got 2048 resolution, 1024, and 512. So yeah. And if you want to, now this is a bit janky, I will admit, but you can actually put people in themed places in the photo boot, but it's slow, it's really janky, and my graphics card crashes every once in a while when I do this. Spice in the face. Yeah, so there you go. Lots of really cool and wondrous things there. Yeah. All right. By the way, Quincy is live. Thank you so much, Simo. We are going to go and raid our dear friend Quincy now. All right. Well, thank you once again for coming and joining. We hope that you have a wonderful rest of your weekend or evening or whatever you happen to be. I've been Michael. I've been the Dead Oz Gamer. This is my place. This is my face, and you can find it here almost every day of the week till we meet again, which for me is, what day is it? It's Wednesday, so I'm going to be back on Friday. Friday morning, we're going to be playing a Oriental-styled adventure called the Ruby Phoenix, and then following that, we're going to be playing Sirens and Silver, our pirate adventure with a bunch of scurvy scallywags who I have the absolute pleasure of being able to run games for. So be sure to come and tune in there as we set sail for the high seas. Until next time, as always, guys, from me to you, game hard or die trying. Bye, everyone! I think I did that wrong. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Hold on. There we go. Let's try that again. There we go. Now it's raiding. Sorry, I don't know why it cancels raid midway if I press the wrong button. And I pressed the wrong button. All right. Ciao!